Denmark's Speedway sensation Peter Kellerman sent the fans into a frenzy as he topped the podium at his home Grand Prix in Denmark as winner of round 7 of the series. Nearly 13,000 fans had packed into the Casa Arena for the first ever World Championship event in Horsens, and on a dry and warm evening they witnessed one of the best race meetings of the year so far. Kellerman had a far from easy night as he firstly was excluded in Heat 12 and under pressure from Britain's Chris Harris, and then was involved in a spectacular 3-man pile-up with Pedersen and Zagar on the back straight in Heat 18. It had again been a frustrating night for Denmark's Nicky Pedersen as he tried to keep the pressure on current championship leader Tai Woffinden, who would eventually qualify for the final, where he'd join Slovenia's Matti Zagar and another Dane, Michael Jepsen Jensen. But the first staging of the race saw Woffinden in blue clash with Kellerman in red, causing the Dane to hit the floor, resulting in Woffinden being excluded. In the rerun, Kellerman needed no second invitation as he led out of the turn 2 into a lights to flag victory and his first ever Grand Prix win.
Just that feeling you want to have, really. It's just that winner feeling, and yeah, do all I can to push on to try have another one.
Despite his exclusion in the final, Tai Woffinden has extended his lead over Nicky Pedersen from 9 to 13 points in the race for the World Championship. The Dane still has a sizable points advantage over the chasing pack, but knows that he can't afford the Brit too many points scoring nights like Horsens if he's to challenge for the world title.
We still have 5 rounds, you know, everything is up for grab. I do my job, I stay as consistent as possible, and we'll see if that's good enough when we get to Australia.
I think Nicky has to finish like 2 points better than me in every Grand Prix to be there at the end, you know. So, you know, there's still Greg coming up. You know, I'm sure he's going to turn his season around and start banging in the points. So it's not easy, you know. It's a World Championship, but we keep fighting, and we'll see where we're at in a few more rounds.
So the championship moves to Gorzow, Poland, and round 8 of the series. In 2014, wildcard and Stal Gorzow club rider Bartosz Szmaszlik brought the house down as he sensationally won in front of nearly 17,000 fanatical home fans. In 2015, he's been invited back yet again as the wildcard, so can he repeat the performance of last year?
Yes, please, yes, of course. Maybe tomorrow, good day for me, and keep fingers for me and everything okay.
Hi there, good evening. A lovely sunny evening here at the Gorzow FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Poland at the Edward Janczak Stadium. Perfect setting and lovely weather here for round 8 of the World Speedway Championship. We have 20 heats plus the 2 semi-finals and the final to come tonight. Kelvin Tatum alongside me in commentary, but first of all, it's fair to say the Speedway world has been thinking of one man since an accident in Zielona Góra last weekend here in Poland. Darcy Ward seriously hurt last weekend, and some of the Grand Prix boys have got a message or two for Darcy.
To say the least, you know, I think that more or less everybody wakes up and goes to bed and wakes up with the same thought of Darcy Ward, you know, and for all of us, it was a sad moment, but right now we're all trying to stay hopeful, and we pray for you, Darcy. Hang tough, bro. We love you.
And all the points that I score here tonight, I'll dedicate them to my mate Darcy. And you know, if you're watching tonight, dude, stay strong. You know, we're all here with you. We'll get through this together, and we love you, mate.
Yeah, great words from 2 world champions there, Kelvin Tatum.
Yeah, very apt indeed, and yeah, it was very disappointing news, of course, and there's a terrific outpouring of emotion here, and you've got to say that the Poles have really done themselves proud because they are respecting the fact that Darcy Ward had that nasty injury last weekend, and I myself, you know, send him all the very best because, you know, a nasty incident. Just keep our fingers crossed he can make a full recovery.
So here we go with the first race of the night, then it's time to go racing. And already we've seen a practice start.
Dear, oh dear,
Troy
oh dear.
Batchelor going wrong.
Well,
and he's injured.
It's his birthday, and unfortunately that is not the way he would have wanted his Grand Prix to start. He completely flipped it when he did the practice start. And let's keep our fingers crossed that he's okay.
Well, one of the more bizarre incidents, he's got bike number 2 ready to go, but that's before even a lap has been done. So
I didn't actually catch it, I just saw the end of it, and I don't know whether there was something that went wrong there, but quite clearly he's changed his equipment. Yeah, he just flips it over. Very fortunate not to have injured himself quite badly. think he'll be a touch nervous now when he does another practice start. They have ripped the surface of the track quite extensively. Looks like it might be a little bit grippy. The start and finish line is actually quite a little bit grippier because it's been in shade all day, so it'll be interesting to see how they deal with that. But a huge meeting and prospect, fabulous atmosphere, terrific.
First race of the night then here in the Gorzow FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Poland. Kelvin Tatum alongside me here. All our thoughts here with Darcy Ward, of course, who we know is watching back in the UK tonight. We wish you well, pal. All the very best to you and your family and everybody around you. Here we go with heat number 1. Greg Hancock off the inside. Troy Batchelor off 2. Bartosz Marslik, the brilliant young Gorzow rider, off gate 3. And Peter Killerman, winner 3 weeks ago in Horsens, is going off the outside. A packed house, a lovely sunny evening. Very hot here in Gorzow tonight as we prepare for the first race with Jesper Steentoft from Denmark, our referee here tonight. And they're away, first time of asking, and Hancock has hit the front early on. Schmarslik now is going to try and go around the outside of Batchelor, and Killerman is battling hard with Batchelor as well, but Hancock has the early lead. Second place is Bartosz Schmarslik. Killerman has come around the outside, but Batchelor's coming back for more, going into lap 2.
Yeah, good move there from Troy Batchelor. Tough first corner, and it was really even Stevens. Kilderman ruthless up the inside of Batchelor to charge back into third place. Superstar from the world champion off the inside gate. Schmarslik, of course, the track specialist, the home crowd favourite, is in second place, but Greg Hancock has not been quite at his best, but certainly in Heat 1 here looks absolutely terrific.
Yep, Greg Hancock only missed 1 Grand Prix in his career. Had that incident here last year with Niels Christian Iversen, which ultimately forced him out of the next round, but down the back straight here, he is looking super quick. Greg Hancock and his Darcy Ward replica Kevlars is going to take the checkered flag. Big win for Greg Hancock of the USA, reigning world champion, of course. Second place, Bartosz Marslik. Third there went to Peter Killerman. And Troy Batchelor, who looped the bike on a practice start down the back straight before Heat 1. And I have to say that Batchelor looks uncomfortable as he's making his way back to the pit gate after that first race. So Heat number 1. Hancock the winner with Schmarslik second, Killerman was third, and Batchelor at the back. And there will be a bit of concern about Batchelor. I think he's a little bit hurt after that incident before the race.
Very unfortunate. He just gets too much grip and flips off the back. Far from... just watch this again. It's a tough first corner. Hancock and Schmarslik get there very close indeed with Kilderman on the outside. Batchelor coming into third place. It's a good effort from the Australian initially, but what I will say here is that the world champion Hancock, who at times has struggled, particularly in Horsens last time out, didn't have the speed, couldn't make the starts he was looking for. This is textbook Hancock, away from the inside, had plenty of speed. There's a bit of grip out there, and I must say he looked very impressive indeed. Kilderman comes charging up the inside. Ruthless move there. Really does take no prisoners at all with this move to get that vital point, and Batchelor has a really tough opening heat. Been on his backside already, but Hancock will be chuffed to bits that, of course, in the replica suit of Darcy Ward, paying respects to his friend, but fabulous start for Hancock.
Brilliant stuff from Greg Hancock, yes, and Killerman and Batchelor battling away there, and they'll be teammates again next week in the UK when Killerman and Batchelor team up for Swindon in their last push for the playoffs, where really home win, and you do feel they'll be almost there in the playoffs in the UK as we build up to heat number 2. Here we see Chris Harris, who will be in the playoffs with Coventry, or should be.
He's also in the race-off next weekend.
The GP Challenge,
GP Challenge, of course, in Rybnik, which is his home club in Poland, so he'll be looking forward to that, but it's a hugely competitive night. Only 3 qualifiers, of course. Krzysztof Kasperzak, we must talk about him. He has had a very difficult time, a complete loss of confidence for the world number 2, and he needs to turn it around. This is his home club, a great opportunity for him to get amongst the points.
Yeah, Stal Gorzow here in the Edward Janssart Stadium. Michael Jepsen Jensen off the inside, Matti Zegar off 2 in blue, Chris Harris gate 3 white, Krzysztof Kasperzak outside in yellow. Zegar's missed some league meetings through injury recently, but due for Bellevue tomorrow for their meeting on Sunday afternoon at Kirkmanshume Lane. So good to see Zagar back in business here tonight. Here we go, heat number 2 it is. Going into that first turn, gate 1 has worked a treat for Jepsen Jensen. Zagar goes up the inside line. Chris Harris is coming through now. Lovely move from Harris in the white helmet colour. Kasperzak now challenging Zagar as well down the bottom turn, but Michael Jepsen Jensen has the lead. Harris second, Zagar third, and Kasperzak's misery continues.
Yeah, good move there from Harris to get himself into second place, but Jepsen Jensen's got speed out in front. Once again, the inside gate is working well. 2 consecutive races with the boys in the red helmet colour. They've hit the front and they're dominating the race. Zagar got out-battled initially by Harris, but is coming on strong. And once again, the woes for Kasperzak are continuing. He's out the back. But the Danish rider, Jepsen Jensen, impressive 3 weeks ago in Horsens, is very impressive in his first ride here.
Yeah, and he needs points, doesn't he, Jepsen Jensen, because he's just outside the top 8. A place in the top 8 guarantees you a place in the Grand Prix for 2016. And Michael Jepsen Jensen of Denmark is going to come over the finish line with a win under his belt. Chris Harris with a smart move early on, the British rider, getting the better of Matti Zagar. And Christoph Kasperzak struggling at the back badly there.
Yep.
And, well, really, when you look at his form, he hasn't hit double figures since Tampere in round number 2. He had 2 zeros in Daugavpils and Malala, 4 in Horsens. And he's just not the Christoph Kasperzak we know. Jepsen Jensen, the winner, Harris second, Zagar was third, and Christoph Kasperzak at the back. Good ride from Michael Jepsen Jensen, a finalist 3 weeks ago in Horsens, and carrying on the winning form now.
Yeah, absolutely. He seems very relaxed. I saw him in our hotel earlier on, and he looked like he was really enjoying himself. And he enjoys himself in heat number 2 here because the inside gate works a treat for him. He hugs the inside. Zagar's there, but look at the move from Harris. Harris pounces down the back straight on the opening lap. Super move from him. See it again from the tapes. Jepsen Jensen, red helmet colour, stamps his authority on the race right from the word goes. Doesn't put a foot wrong. Zagar then just finds himself not quite having the momentum off the first corner, and that allows Harris into second place. He tries awfully hard. Kasperzak out the back, couldn't land a blow. Wasn't far away, but was out the back. But Jepsen Jensen, a super start for him, and as you rightly say, he needs points, and he starts with a win.
Yep, so good stuff for the talented Danish rider. Has found it tough in his first full season as a GP rider. Has hit double figures only twice, but in form 3 weeks ago. Here we see Thomas H. Jonassen, the Swedish rider, of course, very spectacular on his day. This man, Niels Christian Iversen, knows this track well.
Yes.
He's a Gorzow rider. He's a Kings Lynn rider in the UK, and the bosses from Kings Lynn are here, and the team sponsors. They're here to watch the GP tonight.
Yeah, very keen followers of the sport.
Indeed, yeah.
At home and abroad, we often see them attending Grand Prix. Andreas Johnson also has been struggling at Grand Prix level again this year. Needs a massive night to really turn his fortunes around. And Pedersen, lying second in the world at the moment, needs a big night.
Thomas H. Jonassen off the inside. Niels Christian Iversen off gate 2 in blue. The Great Dane Nicky Pedersen going off gate 3 in white. And Andreas Johnson going off the outside in yellow. Pedersen is the closest to Woofenden in the title race right now.
Yep.
In the white helmet colour. Nicky Pedersen 13 points behind Ty Woofenden after the last round in Horsens 3 weeks ago. Says that he's happier with his engines. He's found the speed that he thinks can take him forward. Let's see if he can make it off gate number 3 here.
Yeah, he had a day off in the week. He wasn't feeling that well, and I know there's been an awful lot of work going on with his equipment, so he'll be hoping it works out now. Gate 3, Pedersen.
Yep, long way to the first turn here in Gorzow. It's a great start from Pedersen off gate number 3. What a move from Nicky Pedersen in white. He's got the speed down the back straight now. That is a stunning move from Nicky Pedersen in white, the Dane. Thomas H. Jonassen holding second place right now. Third is Andreas Johnson in yellow, with Niels Christian Iversen getting close at the back. But Nicky Pedersen looking superb, in commanding form and with lots of speed down the back straight.
Yeah, looking good. Make the super start away from gate 3. It was nip and tuck. You're right, it is a long way to the first corner here. The start is nearer the last corner than the first corner, but he's out in front. He's dominating the race. Thomas H. Jonassen coming under all sorts of pressure from AJ. Andreas Johnson, oh, dives up the inside going into turn 3 as they start just about to start the last lap. Iversen's packed up out the back. Strong move from Andreas Johnson, but Pedersen out in front. 3 points should be his.
Yeah, looking comfortable here. Nicky Pedersen knows this track well. Super quick. And he made a stunning start from gate number 3, Nicky Pedersen. Over to you, Ty Woofenden, in heat number 4. What a ride from Nicky Pedersen in white.
Yeah, it's super ride from him. He'll be pleased with that. As we mentioned before the race, there's been an awful lot of work going on with the engines. And quite clearly, he had some speed, he had some performance there. Great start from Pedersen and dominated the race in front.
Pedersen, Jonsson and Jonassen, the finishing order. Iversen retired with bike problems. That's the result of heat number 3. First time a race has been won outside of gate number 1 in the opening 3 heats of this meeting. And Iversen walking back, wondering what might have been.
Yeah, he's a home rider as well. And to be perfectly honest, the home riders this season have found their form difficult. They've been up and down, and he doesn't make a good start, and he's out the back. The absolute opposite is for Pedersen. He makes a good start, gets the better of Thomas H. Jonassen down the back straight, and clears off out in front. Strong move, that. Super strong move there from AJ to just slip up the inside going into turn 3. Iversen in the background with the bike packing up, but this move here is tight, and they're awfully tight between the two Swedes, but it's tough Speedway Grand Prix, and he charges through in the second place, and a nice 2 points for him. But Nicky Pedersen, a 3-time former world champion, out of gate 3, the ideal start.
Yeah, great stuff from Nicky Pedersen. And now we move up to heat number 4, and what a lineup this is. We have Matt Sajanovski, Ty Woofenden, Jason Doyle and Chris Holder. This is some lineup, Kelvin.
It is indeed. Holder, of course, has spent a lot of time with Darcy Moore this week, so be interesting to see how focused he is. But Janowski, of course, is the Polish champion, and he'll be a crowd favourite for sure. And the championship leader, 13 points out in front, is riding very well, and I'm sure he's looking forward to tonight's meeting. He likes this place and has ridden very well here in previous seasons.
Janowski going off the inside in red, then it's Ty Woofenden, the series leader. His lead cut to 10 points now after that win for Pedersen. Jason Doyle goes off gate 3 in white. He's had a great debut year in the GP.
Agreed.
And Chris Holder, the 2012 world champion, is going off the outside in yellow. Chris Holder, who enjoyed a bit of time earlier with his family, and it was good to see. And here we go with race number 4. Darcy Ward's seats for Chris Holder, which is another fantastic gesture here in Gorzow tonight. Race number 4, here we go. Green light on. Good start from Janowski. Now Woofenden is in there in that first turn, but what about Holder? And down goes Doyle in the first turn, and he stayed down, and the red lights are going to have to come on. The red lights are on. Going to have to do it again. Doyle, an untidy heap in that first turn.
Tough first corner. Doyle just bites the dust. Get a feeling it'll be all 4 back. Holder was charging hard down the back straight initially.
Made a beauty off gate 4, didn't he?
Yeah, he passed him down the back straight, but it was Janowski initially. He may have moved fractionally early as well. Yeah, he did. He very nearly rolled there, but Doyle just gets a little bit of a thump. Does actually end up falling on his own, so actually on the replay, maybe not quite as clear-cut as I first thought. There is a little bit of argy-bargy there between Woofenden and Doyle. He's unsettled. He's got his foot caught there. To be honest, yeah, it should be all 4 back there.
Well, never wants to hold back from giving an opinion. Kelvin Tatum
has his left foot actually caught on Woofenden. Can't see it from that angle, but he's completely unsettled. There you can see the left leg is caught, and that creates the problem for Doyle. I would have to think all 4 will go back there.
There is no exclusion light on. In fact, we can confirm it is all 4 riders back for the restart. Jesper Steentoft with his first decision to make. Doyley walking back to the pits, which is good to see. Another opportunity for Woofenden then second time around. Doyle, who is 7th in the World Championship standings going into tonight, scored 11 in Melilla and 12 in Horsens.
Well, he could have actually had a lot more in Horsens. He was leading the semi-final, and unfortunately for him, just seemed to lose concentration. Otherwise, he looked very much like he was going to be making his first final. But unfortunately for him, it didn't work out. But he's got a second chance now.
Well, we get a little bit of extra time for Jason Doyle to be ready for the restart of Heat 4. Let's hear from Greg Hancock now with Steve Brandon.
Greg, no scratching your head after that one. A great start in Heat 1.
Yeah, you got that right. Everything went good right when the tapes went, and had a good run around. So just keep climbing.
We spoke about a tough week yesterday. Special gesture, the race suit tonight.
Yeah, you know, it's just something least you can do. The guy's, you know, hard time for him, but stay strong, bro.
Keep going.
Yeah, an emotional Greg Hancock.
It's an emotional weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And fabulous gesture by Greg, and a fabulous opening ride by him. I was sort of not quite. I was a little concerned how it was going to affect these boys tonight, but on the evidence of the opening races, it really looks like they're going to be really riding as hard as they possibly can. And really giving their best. Even Holder there, who had spent a large part of the week with Darcy, looked like he was really charging hard down the back straight.
Got Davey Watt in the pits tonight as well.
Yeah, Davey's been around, of course, and Jason Doyle. The Aussie boys are a tight-knit family, in effect. They all help each other out. But Doyle's done himself proud. He's come in as a fully fledged Grand Prix rider this. He qualified through the GP Challenge last year and has ridden very well. Just a couple of mistakes, otherwise he would have had quite a handful of more World Championship points to his name.
More of a late developer, Jason Doyle, as opposed to Darcy and Chris, the younger boys that came through earlier. Jason did his time in the Premier League with Somerset in the UK, and
good point.
You know, he's more of a late developer, isn't he?
Good point. I think part of that is also he's had some nasty injuries.
Yes.
Both shoulders have been operated on, and there's no question in his mid-20s he definitely got held back by injuries. He's now 28, 29, I believe, and he's the real deal, and I think he's got a great future in front of him. And the pennies dropped with Jason as well. He knows what he wants, and he's a good rider, riding brilliantly for the Leicester this year in the UK, doing a good job wherever he's riding, and he's done an excellent job at the Grand Prix level as well.
Good setup as well. He's got John O'Burks in his pit crew, the brother of Sheffield rider Ashley Burks in the pits. He's got David Haynes, a former rider as well, in his pit corner. He's got a good setup, Jason Doyle. Here we go with heat number 4 then. Will Matsey pull off a bit of magic off the inside gate? Woffenden, gate 2, blue. Jason Doyle, gate 3, white. And Chris Holder outside yellow, who made a fine start in the first staging of heat number 4. Here we go. Janowski, Woffenden, Doyle, Holder. As soon as a draw was made, we looked at heat 4, Kelvin, didn't we, and said it looked a tasty old lineup.
It was indeed, and I'm sure it's going to prove so. Woffenden's team keenly looking on, the sunshine just blinding them a wee bit. It's been a gorgeous day. I mean, you could not have wished for a better day, and there's no question that the crowd are loving this. It's a balmy temperature out there, ideal in actual fact for racing. Holder on the outside. He looked very keen to hit the front. Janowski a touch keen. He just got away with that start. Settling down, second time of asking.
Yep, second time it is. Heat number 4.
Oh.
Tape tries. Woffenden just had a little nibble at the start there, I thought. And he's been paid the price. The red light is on. And, well, this is an interesting one now.
It is.
Jesper Steentoft.
It is, because Jesper Steentoft puts the red light on immediately. There's no question that Woffenden definitely moved early. The bikes are going back into the pits, which is actually disappointing. I thought they maybe just waved straight back round. No incident in the first corner, but Woffenden does move. Yep, moves a little early. Actually penalises himself.
He is lucky to get away with this. He's got another chance.
Yeah, but he penalises himself in...
Well, yeah, he penalises himself.
So the race
could fall back. He can come back and
exactly.
win it.
So he's got out of jail effectively.
Lucky boy, Ty Woffenden.
Very much so, and I don't understand why they've gone off the track.
Yeah, strange one. The 2-minute clock is on, so we've got a third time of asking here. Perhaps they've been allowed off the track because it's a third start of the race, 2 restarts. So that's why they've gone off the track to call the clutches down in the pit area.
But you're dead right. No, Ty Woffenden is a lucky chap because he did jump just momentarily, but he penalised himself. We do see often that the referee will allow it to run then when a rider actually tries to gain an advantage, but it backfires on him.
I know many referees that have just
exactly. So he is lucky. And this is a very competitive race. Quite clearly, the nerves are jangling because it's not easy to overtake at this early stage of the night. And so starting is at a premium, getting your nose in front when you get to the first turn. So few first race nerves here for these boys. And this is the third time they're coming to the tapes. They'll be very keen to try and get this race underway now.
Yeah, and that time Doyle had made a decent start on that occasion, but it matters not.
No.
Because they're back for a second restart of heat number 4. You know the lineup by now, don't you?
Well, just for fun, do it again, will you?
Yeah, Janowski, Woffenden, Doyle and Holder, if you have just joined us. That's your lineup for heat number 4.
Well, Janowski is a rider, of course, that has won a Grand Prix already this season. There's no question he's going in the right way. He's a little up and down, but that's to be expected as his first full season. But in front of this crowd, I'm sure he's desperate to put in a really big performance. The Poles are looking for a new hero, and there's every chance it could very well be Matsej Janowski. Third time of asking then.
Yep, heat number 4 it is then. Here we go this time. And it's a super start from Janowski. Woffenden has been squeezed out. Holder off gate 4. What a start from Chris Holder. Stunning stuff from him. Janowski is second. Woffenden has charged hard into third place right now. Janowski is going to wind it on and try everything. And Woffenden has come through. What a move from Ty Woffenden. Spotted the opportunity. Here comes Doyle round the outside of Woffenden now. Down the back straight. Holder in control. And good speedway behind him.
Yeah, fabulous stuff from Chris Holder out in front. Flew away from the outside. How tough is it behind him, though? Ty Woffenden coming through in a second place. Good effort from him with Janowski just running a little bit wide, but Woffenden now really beginning to wind it on. Holder's out in front. Woffenden's closed the gap, really pushing hard, looking for a way through. There's a lap to go. The World Championship leader really winding it on the outside. Whoa!
What a move from last to first! Ty Woffenden has just gone past Chris Holder with Jason Doyle third, Mats Janowski at the back, and that is a world-class ride from a world-class rider. It's Woofy, Woofy, Woofy!
Well, right out of the top draw there, heat number 4, finally, third time of asking, gets away, but what a treat it was. It was well worth waiting for. Heat 4 sets the crowd alight. Woffenden at his best.
How did he manage that? Confirmation, Woffenden, Holder, Doyle and Janowski. An interesting first 4 heats here in Gorzow.
What a ride from Ty Woffenden. Got out battle to the first corner. The bike didn't really move and pull as hard as he would have liked. Janowski on the inside, but it's Holder. Holder, what a start. Third time, sweeps across the opposition and gets down the back straight out in front. Woffenden initially up into third place, battling hard with Jason Doyle. Janowski there just running a little bit hot, has to miss the back of Holder. That leaves him vulnerable. He runs wide, and both Woffenden and Doyle come charging up the inside of the Polish rider to come into second and third respectively. It looked like Holder was then going to be comfortable out in front, but Woffenden suddenly, the bike started working and he generated plenty of speed. And what a move it was. Later in the race, Holder at this stage, you can see he's relatively comfortable, rides the inside line, but Woffenden got the back tire on the edge of the dirt and just roars down the back straight on the last lap to steal the win away from the Australian. What a ride from the championship leader. And Nigel now has got a 13-point lead in the championship
again, yeah, and he's gone from last to first, and to do that in a Grand Prix, Kelvin, is so tough.
It is indeed. I spoke to him briefly. I saw him just getting changed, actually, prior to the meeting. He is a remarkably calm man before such a huge event. No question it plays to his strengths that he is able to mentally remain on a very cool and calm perspective. Great heat number 4, great. And this crowd, they loved it.
Well, it worked for Woffenden on the inside and the outside there, Kelv, didn't it? Which is good to see when you've got different lines that can work early on.
He's got a favourite bike here. He spoke to me yesterday about it, that he uses a particular engine for this track. They dragged it out of the workshop and bolted it in. And apart from the start, he really was exceptional.
Yeah, what a ride from Ty Woffenden, and he is with Steve Brandon.
Ty, it didn't work off the start, but it sure did work after that.
Yeah, that's it, you know. Made a little setup change after the little rerun thing that we had, so I feel fast. It's a fast engine here. When I raced here in the league, that's what I was doing. I was passing people. I wasn't making the best starts, so it'd be nice to make some, but we'll see where it takes us.
How can you be so calm when there's so much at stake?
Don't know, I guess growing up in Australia, I was pretty chilled out, and I've taken that on to my older life, but you know, everything's going good. Points make prizes, said it before, said it again, and I've been away for 2.5 weeks, so I'm looking forward to going and see Faye tomorrow and chill out for 2 days before I got to bugger off again.
A couple of days off, well, there's more work to do tonight. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, super stuff from the World Championship leader, and as I say, he really did set the place alight with a stunning ride there, and he is a remarkably calm man, and he's won a World Championship, and he's looking like he's going to be a hard man to catch for his second one. That man, of course, Nicky Pedersen, may well have a lot to say about it. He rode very well in his first ride.
Yep, brilliant stuff. And Chris Harris is with Steve Brandon.
Chris, a great first corner in Heat 2.
Yeah, no, needed a good first heat for a change. Normally I wait to the end of the meeting, so felt good out there, so hopefully we can build from that.
Do you feel like you had the speed to be competitive tonight?
Yeah, practice went good yesterday, and I felt comfortable, and that race was pretty good. Made a few changes for this one, but hopefully it'll be right.
I'm not asking it as a cheeky question, but it must be very frustrating when you know you can beat all these guys individually and just the Grand Prix just hasn't quite clicked in.
Yeah, I've beaten them before, so no reason why I can't keep doing it. So just finding that thing that's happy with.
And also, you've probably got to get everything set up so you're 100% confident next Saturday for the challenge.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big meeting for me, so obviously I need to get in the top 3 to be back here next year.
Long way to go tonight. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a good hard ride there from Chris Harris in his opening ride of the night. Worked really hard.
He did, yeah. He got the better of Zagar coming out of turn 2, and
yeah,
he looked quite competitive. He's had a hard time in the GPs of late. And this will be, if he can put a strong performance in tonight, he'll be a really big confidence booster, because Rybnik next weekend for the challenge is a very competitive night. There are a lot of poles in that meeting as well, so they'll go in his favourite. Limbach's in there, Peter Kilderman, Schmarzlik, the Pavlicki brothers. With only three places available for the Grand Prix, you can hardly make any mistakes at all.
Well, it's the closest thing you get to the old-fashioned overseas final, intercontinental final, and the world final days,
yes,
Kelv, where only a certain amount of spots in that one-off meeting get you through to the world final.
Oh, I remember those days not fondly, because they were always nerve-wracking affairs. But no, it is a very tense night, and with only 3 qualifiers, you can't afford to make any mistakes at all. I think the evidence of the first 4 races here have been strong enough to suggest that we're going to be in for a cracker. As I say, the crowd is the stadium is full. A fiercely loyal crowd here. They get well over 12,000 people for a league match here, so you know it is quite a remarkable part of the world. Riders just preparing themselves for a very strong looking heat number 5.
Yeah, terrific lineup for heat number 5 it is. Woofenden leading the World Championship by 13 points, so as you were after the first 4 heats here.
Pedersen did it the easy way, didn't he?
He did.
Woofenden did it the hard way, but at the end of the day, the score chart doesn't show any pictures, does it? It's the points that matter, and fair play to Woofenden. This man coming out now, well, there's plenty of heat winners here, Nigel, at least. I think there are 4.
3.
Jepsen,
Hancock, Jepsen, Jensen, Pedersen, and Chris Holder got a second in his opening ride.
Of course he did.
He was leading it.
He was, yes. Yeah, he was indeed. Very nearly was he winner. So a very competitive heat number 5. Should be another thriller.
Yep, smashing lineup, it really is. Heat number 5 here in Gorzow tonight. Riders coming up to tapes. And, well, it really is going to be fascinating to see how this one unfolds with Holder, Hancock and Pedersen, 3 world champions, of course. Here we go then. Big heat number 5 coming right up. Heat number 5, a clash of 3 world champions and a world under-21 champion. Holder off the inside. Greg Hancock goes off gate number 2 in blue. Michael Jepsen Jensen gate 3 in white. Nicky Pedersen outside yellow. 7 world titles between 3 of these riders. What a lineup, Kelvin Tatum, for heat number 5.
Fabulous lineup for heat number 5. So early in the meeting, it really is a clash of the titans, isn't it? Holder was the only one that got beaten in his opening ride, and that was only after a stunning performance from Ty Woofenden in the previous heat. Hancock was immaculate away from the inside. Pedersen looked very competitive with his opening ride, as did Jepsen Jensen. Something's got to give. Not all 4 can win here, so they desperately want to, of course, but the pressure's on. Holder's at tapes. It's an emotional week for him. I suspect he is driven by the emotion to ride and win for Darcy this evening. No question about that. Here we go then.
Yep, heat number 5, a packed house here at the Edward Jansard Stadium in Gorzow. Here we go. And Hancock's made a good one off gate number 2. Now Pedersen will try and switch up the inside. It's all very tight. Holder's got some speed.
Oh!
Nicky Pedersen almost loses it there. Jepsen Jensen comes through. And you can be sure Nicky Pedersen is an angry man right now, trying to chase hard up the inside of Jepsen Jensen. Hancock, Holder, Jepsen Jensen under pressure from Pedersen now down that back straight.
Absolutely. Once again, Greg Hancock's got his strapping hand out, hasn't he, tonight? Another immaculate start out of gate 2 and is in front. Holder was really tough. He pushed hard to get the better of Nicky Pedersen as they went down the back straight on the opening lap. But Jepsen Jensen's coming on strong in 3rd place. Chased hard by Pedersen out the back. But Hancock, the world champion, is looking like he's on top form here this evening.
Yep, it's Hancock leading the way. Chris Holder second. Now Jensen charges up the inside of Chris Holder into turn 3. And now Greg Hancock is going to go over the line. FIM Jensen and Holder third. And Holder just nods the air as if to say, damn it, I let that slip for third place. But credit Jensen, super ride. And Greg Hancock, 2 rides and 2 wins for the old master.
Fabulous ride there from Hancock. Such a good start and has got pace tonight. He's been lacking some speed in previous Grand Prix, but tonight the trapping hands on and he's really looking strong. Jensen, that was a fabulous ride to get the better of Holder.
It was Hancock from Jensen from Chris Holder in third place. Nicky Pedersen trailed in at the back, and Hancock, a maximum man. 2 rides, 2 wins, really trapping tonight. Jensen, 5 points for him from 2 rides, continuing his fine form from 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
What a ride from Greg Hancock.
It is, and this is why, once again, out of gate 2, he drops the clutch and the bike is jet propelled. He gets the better of Holder. He sweeps across the front of the Australian and just stamps his authority. Holder then really gets the better of Nicky Pedersen, and Pedersen is then put off balance as they go down the back straight. And unfortunately for the main Dane, he then cannot land a blow. Hancock out in front, Holder initially through there. There's a little bit of contact that's very tight. Pedersen was no question there was a little bit of contact, but Michael Jensen, all credit to the Danish rider, comes charging through later in the race to get the better of the Australian, former world champion. Holder's disappointed as he goes over the line. That man's not. He has started tonight in fine form, 6 points to his name. And I've got to say, he looks like he really means business tonight. And 5 points to Jensen. An excellent return also for him.
Yeah, good rider, Jensen. Good to see him here. His father part of his pit crew, of course. And Greg Hancock, the race winner, wearing his Darcy Ward replica Kevlars. There are fundraising efforts going on now, of course, to help with the finance towards Darcy's rehabilitation. So check out social media and websites around the world for that. Heat number 6 coming up. Here's your lineup then. The World Championship leader is off the inside, Ty Woffenden, still with a 13-point lead with this race in hand. Thomas H. Jonasson, gate 2 in blue. Troy Batchelor is out on gate 3 in white. And Chris Harris going off the outside in yellow.
Well, yes, absolutely. An opportunity now for Woffenden to stretch that lead with Pedersen failing to score in the previous one. Woffenden was mighty fast, of course. Said he struggled off the start with this engine, but was keeping his fingers crossed that they could rectify that. I've got to say that Harris had an encouraging first ride as well.
Certainly did. Here we go then. Heat number 6 it is. Woffenden has hit that first turn superbly now. Woffenden has the lead. Batchelor is coming hard around the outside of Jonasson. Harris is there as well, and Jonasson has gone to the back. Woffenden has the lead now. Into turns 3 and 4, coming into lap 2, it's Ty Woffenden from Troy Batchelor. Chris Harris is having a real go going wide, and here he comes again down that back straight. He's really getting some speed on Troy Batchelor, has to get off the gas though.
Yeah, super stuff once again from Woffenden out in front. Troy Batchelor in second place is under all sorts of pressure from Harris, who's really charging hard, riding the bike, trying to get the wheels in line. The Australian is under massive attack there from Harris. Harris pushing hard in third place. Thomas H. Jonason's out the back. Woffenden's got a lap to go. He's comfortable out in front. Batchelor is having to ride with the eyes in the back of his head because Harris is really strutting his stuff back in third place.
Woffenden is half the length of a straight clear, and Ty Woffenden is going to make it 2 rides and 2 wins. Great ride. Harris tries hard for second.
Did he get there?
Right to the line with Troy Batchelor. Chris Harris is really getting stuck in here in Gorzow tonight. Loves coming to Poland to prove a point, Chris Harris. He believes he deserves a regular opportunity in the Polish league. A little bit late now, of course, because they're going into their playoffs here in Poland.
But Nigel, this was very close.
It was.
Batchelor runs wide coming off the last corner. Harris is on the inside.
Done him.
And he's stolen it away. What an effort from Chris Harris.
Yes.
Fabulous ride from Chris Harris. That's 2 second places and he deserved it. Brilliant stuff from him.
Yeah, 4
4
points from 2 rides.
Super effort from him. Batchelor will be kicking himself. Had the second place and ran wide. Woffenden, of course, was immaculate out in front, showed fabulous speed, but a super effort from the British rider to have a Brit 1-2. It's excellent stuff from them.
Yeah, British 1-2 in heat number 6. Great ride from Chris Harris. Woffenden joins Hancock on top of the leaderboard now with 6 points from 2 rides. And now Ty Woffenden has a 16-point lead in the World Championship over Nicky Pedersen, but still a lot of hard work to go tonight.
Indeed there is, and the boys are away from the start, and it's Woffenden off the inside who immediately gets to the front and rides immaculately around that first corner. Jacko, his team mechanic, his team leader effectively in the pits, is cheering him on. Doesn't have too many concerns this time. He, to be honest, it was a fairly straightforward ride from Woffenden. He entertained us big time last time. He does it the easy way out in front this. Batchelor, I tell you what, he has that second place right until the last corner, and then Harris rode supremely well to get the better of the Australian. Great result for Woffenden, though. Of course, he's now got a 16-point lead because of the fact that Pedersen failed to score in his previous ride. So Woffenden, massive smile. He pounced. He knows the significance of that ride.
Yep, wonderful stuff from Woffenden. As we build up to heat number 7, there is a terrific atmosphere here tonight. Niels Christian Iversen, a huge favourite with Gorzow fans. Matsej Janowski, gate number 2 in blue. He'll be with Poole in the playoffs in the UK. Iversen, Kings Lynn in the UK. Zagar, Bellevue in the UK. Gate 3 white. Bartosz Zmarzlik, the brilliant young Gorzow rider, did have a brief spell in the UK with Birmingham. Lasted just a one meeting, I recall, before Birmingham hit trouble last year. Good to see them back now, chasing the National League title in the UK. But here we go with heat number 7. Can the Gorzow favourite Iversen make it off the inside gate? Can Zmarzlik do the business from the outside? Zagar with a beauty from gate 3. What a start that was from Matsej Zagar. And it's all very tight down the back straight with Iversen now. And there comes Zmarzlik up the inside of Iversen. Bartosz Zmarzlik, the 19-year-old, hunting down Iversen. It's Zagar with the lead. Iversen second, Zmarzlik third, and Janowski is at the back. And the atmosphere is electric here in the Edward Janssart Stadium.
Yeah, but remarkably, the two Polish riders have been relegated to third and last. Out in front, Zagar was terrific. Iversen, of course, is pushing really hard in second place. Failed to score with a mechanical issue in his opening ride, and he's coming on really strong. Recently won the Danish Championship for the 4th time, and is looking hungry for more points here in second place. And love to go, Iversen coming on strong. Up the inside of Zagar. Oh, really tight.
Zagar comes back for more. Iversen with the lead. What a speedway race that was. Niels Christian Iversen from Matsej Zagar. Bartosz Zmarzlik third. Matsej Janowski at the back. And what a ride that was from Niels Christian Iversen. That was world class.
And fair play to him after such a disappointing opening ride. Iversen comes back with a stunner up the inside, block passes Zagar. Zagar really had to come out of the throttle, but he had the speed, he needed the points, and he stole that race win away from Zagar. Zagar was so strong initially, but Iversen was supreme.
Brilliant from Iversen. Zagar second, Zmarzlik was third. And that is a huge boost for Niels Christian Iversen. 3 points level with Zagar now. Zmarzlik on 3 as well after 2 rides. We are seeing some fantastic speedway here.
Proper speedway, proper speedway, Nigel. I expected it. It's a great racetrack. Super night, conditions are ideal. Zagar, a fabulous start from gate 3. He's comfortable to the first corner. It is so close between the two Polish boys down the back straight, Janowski and Zmarzlik. Zmarzlik coming, charging up the inside as they go into turn 3, trying to get the better of Iversen early on. What a performance this is from Iversen. He really did look like he trudged off the track after the bike packed up in his first race. Look how vulnerable he is there, right on the outside with Zmarzlik really pushing hard. But Niels Christian Iversen rides out of the top draw. It's such a shame we don't see the overtake because it was really something very special indeed. And Iversen coming up the inside and block passing Zagar was a fantastic effort.
Yeah, brilliant. Good meeting so far. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here as we build up to heat number 8. The Edward Janssart Stadium for our older fans, our more mature fans. I'm sure we'll remember Eddie Janssart from the Wimbledon Dons days at the old plough lane. Fine rider, Edward Janssart.
Very strong rider, a real hero in this part of the world. Got to say that this is a speedway town. Not many speedway towns you go to with a statue of a speedway bike and a rider in the middle of the town.
Yeah, and a speedway bar on the banks of the river as well. So they tell me. Let's try it.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Peter Kilman, Christoph Kasperzak. Andreas Jonsson and Jason Doyle. Heat number 8 it is here. A beautiful, hot, sunny evening.
Super.
And it looks full to me as well. It wasn't quite sold out last time we checked, but I think the War Cups, they filled the empty seats here. Heat number 8. Now, who's going to hit that first turn? Jonsson off gate 3's made a good one, but Killerman is there on the inside with the lead. Now, can Jonsson get the drive around the outside? No way through. Killerman shut the door there brilliantly in red, and coming through in yellow, Jason Doyle having a real go on Andreas Jonsson. Ruthless Speedway with Kasper Zak at the back, and Jonsson is beaten up by a hard-riding Jason Doyle.
What a lap from Jason Doyle. Came charging up the inside of Andreas Jonsson. Pushed and pushed and pushed and forced his way through into second place. Kilderman out of the inside gate makes a good start, but he is under all sorts of pressure.
Doyle's quicker.
Doyle's going to do him up the inside. Fabulous ride from Doyle.
What a move, Jason Doyle. Peter Killerman has gone back and now being caught by Jonsson. But we are seeing some top-notch speedway here in Gorzow tonight. And Jason Doyle down the back straight. Into turns 3 and 4 we go for the final time. Once again, a race decided by a stunning pass as Kilderman just edges out Jonsson. That was tough Grand Prix Speedway.
Was it ever? Jason Doyle took no prisoners there. He really ruthlessly forced his way through into second place initially, getting the better of Andreas Jonsson, and then a fantastic move then to get the better of Peter Kilderman, who looked like he was really under control. Fabulous Speedway, Speedway out of the top draw. We are being entertained here this evening.
Got to bear in mind every race vital for a lot of these boys because they're chasing the top 8 and a place in next year's GP. So for Doyle and for AJ they're crucial. That's the latest. 8 races gone here in Gorzow. Join us for heat number 9 soon.
Well, that was something quite special there from Jason Doyle. Quite clearly frustrated after his first ride, riding for Ward here. The Aussie boys are really riding full of determination and motion. Look here, he's out the back, all over the place around the first corner, a little bit untidy. Kilderman then slams the door shut on Andreas Jonsson. Here comes Doyle though, won't be denied here. Absolutely insistent, I am having second place, and there's no way Jonsson can resist that charge from Doyle up the inside. Jonsson, in actual fact, feels the real force of that, and then just a little bit later on, Doyle with so much momentum charges up the inside of Peter Kilderman, who has to get out of the way effect, otherwise he was going to come down. Jason Doyle, top form, an entertainer there for sure.
Yeah, very much so. Simply stunning from Jason Doyle.
Great ride.
Ride with us. Thinking of his pal Darcy Ward, rider number 43. And we say a very good morning to all our Australian viewers who I'm sure have shared all the anxiety and worry over the other side of the world in Europe after what happened to Darcy last weekend here in Poland in Zielona Góra. So a very special good day to our Australian friends that are watching here.
Here, and I'm sure that they've got plenty to cheer about. Certainly Jason Doyle put a smile on their face in that previous race. Brilliant stuff.
Michael Jensen is riding well, really in the thick of it. He's with Steve.
Michael, 5 points, 2 rides, right in the mix.
Yeah, I think I feel all right on the track. You know, yesterday for the practice, I was not really comfortable on the bike. I had a bad crash on Wednesday where I hit my head really hard. I couldn't really turn my head the last few days, but today's better, so I'm on it.
Today is Saturday, just so you know, but it looked like you got the speed, so setup is probably right today.
Yeah, I feel all right. So bike are running and these things, getting good off the start. So I like when it's a bit grippy, so it's really nice.
And how much of this now is about carrying the momentum that you built up in Horsens forward for the rest of the year?
I'm just trying to take all the points I can, and like I said last time, I'm trying to take it step by step and instead of thinking about the next heat. I'm doing it in the moment and giving it all.
The next one's blue in 2 heats time. Any changes coming up for you?
Not at all.
Thanks, Michael.
Well, there's a happy rider. If he's not making any changes, he must be confident that the bike's just about there. Plenty of work going on the track. They know the track very well. They prepare it brilliantly here. At times, it looks quite alarming. If you come in the afternoon, it looks like a ploughed field. But they have the ability to roll it all back in, and it prepares beautifully.
Well, let's hear how Ty Woffinden is feeling about things now with Steve Brandon.
Ty, your first race took 4 laps to put to bed. That one was a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, first one was third time lucky because I had a few reruns. That second one was all right. Still not really making good starts. Yeah, just working hard, you know, it's what it's all about.
A lot of people watching would wish they could ever make a good start like that, but is the bike working as you want it generally everywhere else?
Yeah, on the track, it's working beautiful, you know. We're just, you know, I always say it, we're just like doing the smallest little changes to try to find that perfect setup. So we'll just keep having to play, but it doesn't really matter what I'm doing at the moment, it's going anyway. So cheers, Johnsy, always fast as normal, so make sure you order your engines, boys.
It looks good, but more importantly, you sort of wry smile when the score went up on the screen you were watching a few minutes ago.
Yeah, you know, it's quite psychological now, and he was watching the TV, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was an opportune moment for Woofenden. His timing was spot on there, because Pedersen had run a last in the previous race, had a 13-point lead going into his last ride, and of course pulled off a very valuable win, so a 16-point lead. He is really beginning to get a nice cushion between himself and the rest. Hancock coming out for his third ride. Gate 3 for him next time. And Nigel, you know, it must have gone through Greg's mind this week about,
of course,
with the accident with Darcy Ward. Greg is not a young man in racing terms now. He's been around an awful long time at 45. You know, how much longer is he going to ride for? But so far, on the evidence of tonight, he's riding with great grit and determination.
Well, I'll tell you what, Woofenden might want to really cast an eye towards his next race, because he's up against Nicky Pedersen in that one. Just had a message on social network from Thomas Davey in Australia. Good day from Australia, from Thomas Davey. So good day to you. And
yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here in Gorzow. It really is a fabulous night of Speedway.
It's a treat here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's you know, it's just over the German border. We come into Berlin and travel across, and we've been coming here for several years now. It's a brand new stadium around the original track. The infrastructure is sensational, and as I say, the way they prepare the track, the shape of the track, and on evenings like this with a full house, it doesn't get too much better than this.
It is the end of the current contract for the Speedway GP at this stadium. I understand that negotiations are ongoing. Do hope that the series does return here, because it is a fantastic venue. Heat number 9 is coming up as the riders make their way out onto the track. Greg Hancock has gate number 3 in this one, the maximum man, as the riders make their way out onto the track.
Well, Chris Harris has had a solid night so far with 2 second places, particularly the last ride. He rode Sterling and stole the second place off of Troy Batchelor as they just completed the race, which is a good effort from him. This is a tough one, though. He's off the inside. Everson was very impressive last time with a great effort to pick up the 3 points. Doyle's out. How good was Doyle last time? He really was extra special.
It was tough.
It was tough. He laid it on the line. There's no doubt about that. He left nothing on the table, that's for sure. And, of course, Hancock coming out of gate 3, who's unbeaten so far. So Grand Prix at its best so far this evening, and by all intents and purposes, looking at this lineup, no reason to think it won't continue, Nigel.
Yep, very much so. And we go with heat number 9. Harris 4 points, Doyle 4 as well. Hancock the unbeaten man. Heat number 9 is coming up then. Riders up to tapes, we're ready to go. Here we go, heat number 9 here in the Edward Jansard Stadium here in Gorzow. Chris Harris has ridden superbly tonight. Hard fought 4 points. Jason Doyle, gate 2 in blue. Very impressive to work so hard in his last outing. Greg Hancock, a maximum man so far, off gate 3. And Niels Christian Everson, who pulled off a fabulous ride as well.
Yeah.
He's going off the outside, and it's quite a lineup for heat 9.
Yeah, another great lineup, and there's been some stunning performances so far this evening, with riders having a slightly disappointing opening ride and then bouncing back. There we see Doyle's team, David Haynes on the left. He runs the outfit and certainly been doing a decent job. They settle down. This is a really nice lineup. Harris on the inside. Can he come up with something special? But with that man, unbeaten, Hancock, the world champion, out of gate 3.
Here we go. Can Hancock get to that first turn? He's made a beauty. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the red lights are on.
Don't know why.
The red lights are on.
Not sure why.
Well, need to see a replay of that.
Didn't seem obvious to me somebody moving, but quite clearly the referee feels that there must have been.
We're not in line with the start-finish line, to be fair. Yes, the Steentoft is.
Yeah, we're just in front of it, sort of looking back towards the ride. This is a good view, but we can't see across. This will tell us.
Let's have a look then.
Green light comes on now, concentrating on the tapes.
Nothing wrong.
I've got to say that Hancock makes an absolute
He's just made a great start.
Peach of a start. Slightly unfortunate for the red lights to come on there.
I don't understand why they have.
Nor do I. He's a little bit impetuous there, the referee, a little bit too quick to react. So, slightly unfortunate.
He's got to do it again, Hancock. He's even beating the referee here. He's on such fantastic form.
Well, he is, on his day, the best starter in the world. And on the evidence of his first two rides, he's looks like he's in that sort of mood here this evening. Hasn't always been the case this year. Hasn't quite managed to find the consistency at the Grand Prix that he would have liked, particularly as the reigning world champion, but he's on good form tonight, and I'm sure he's looking to continue. Harris was there also amongst it as they got to the first corner. Everson needs to keep building on that terrific effort last time. So, yeah, this is once again tough to know which way it's going to go, because all of these riders have been riding really strongly and with real purpose in their opening rides.
Yeah, very much so. Wonderful occasion here in Gorzow. I was in Poland actually 23 years ago today as well. Wrocław, track you know well, Kel.
Yep.
1992, on this day, the year Great Britain's Gary Havelock was crowned world champion. On that memorable day, recall how heavy the rain came down and the fire brigade had to pump the water off the track, and Javi then went on and continued brilliantly to win his one world title. Gary Havelock 23 years ago. Where does the time go? Chris Harris off the inside, Jason Doyle gate 2 in blue, Greg Hancock gate 3 in white, and Niels Christian Everson going off the outside in yellow. Hancock unlucky to have been pulled back by the referee on that occasion. Here we go again. Second time of asking.
Absolutely, yeah. Thrilling race in prospect here.
Yep, and going into that first turn, it's a good one for Harris. Now Hancock, has gone down in the first turn, and the red lights are on straight away. Hancock hits the deck.
Tough first corner. Jason Doyle squeezing Hancock there with Everson on the outside.
Hancock gets a standing ovation as he gets to his feet. Brilliant.
Get the feeling that all four of them are going back for the third time.
Yes.
Harris will be disappointed. He'd made a blinder off the inside. But there's no question that Hancock and Doyle were very close as they go into the first corner. Here we see it again. Harris there, Jason Doyle pushing, and he just gets squeezed there and unsettles and goes down.
He's not made the start this time, that's fair to say. Doyle has got a quicker one from 2.
Well, the best one is the one on the inside from Harris. Harris is there. They come in there. There's not a lot of racing room there.
Right, the easy decision is all 4, Kel.
Yeah,
that's the easy decision.
There isn't too much contact, though, is there?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
There isn't too much contact, and you could say that Hancock was wary that he was being squeezed, and he kind of bailed off.
Well,
I fancy all 4 back.
All 4 back,
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's the easy decision, to be fair. And we go back to Horsens 3 weeks ago, where Jim Lawrence didn't make too many easy decisions and had a pretty good night. But that, I think nobody's going to really have too many complaints about that. Not just because it's Greg and he's such a super nice fella. I think it's a first bend incident which we see so regularly.
Nobody's going to be jumping up and down about that too much. Riders just been giving a little bit of extra time. It's a worn evening. Doyle, of course, is fired up. Plenty of adrenaline running around his body right now with a terrific ride last time to come through the pack and win in fine style. Harris will be a little bit frustrated there because he'd made an excellent start. This is not always renowned for being a world-class starter, but certainly away from the inside, he was a bike length clear going into the first corner, so he'll be keeping his fingers crossed that he can replicate that. Smashing crowd, isn't it? Really good to see a stadium full, and the atmosphere is electric.
Now, Peter Killerman is with our man, Steve Brandon.
Peter, 2 rides, 3 points, set up not quite there tonight yet?
Nah, not yet. I'll make the start in the last one, but I didn't have the speed, and fair enough, Jason was quick, and we made a few changes now, but should be all right.
And a track tonight where you really have to think and keep yourself in the right places. It's very hard to sort of lose one place, lose two.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's a racing track. If you just miss the line one time, you're going to be passed, so you're going to be on it.
But as a racer, this kind of track is perfect fun for you guys.
Absolutely.
Right, thanks, Peter.
Such a nice guy, Peter Killerman, as well. And I spoke to the Great Britain manager, Alan Rossiter, in the week, who is the manager of the Swindon Robins as well, Kelv, of course. And he was full of praise for Peter Killerman because in such a tough week with the Darcy Ward scenario, Peter was very quick on the text to Roscoe to say, look, if you need my help, I'm here. And he is riding for Swindon for the rest of the season to cover for Darcy.
Yeah, that's great. You know, he was a crowd favourite there last year. He did a few meetings earlier doors when they had injury problems for them. He opted out of British Speedway this year, but it's great news for the Swindon Robins, who have done so very well to get themselves into a playoff position through the help of Darcy Ward, of course. When he came back out of off of suspension, he had been riding brilliantly, and
10 meetings and double figures in every one for Swindon.
Had inspired the club, and had come roaring through. So yeah, good to see Peter Kilderman coming into the side. Harris, of course, now on the inside, will be a touch frustrated. It's never easy as a rider. Quite often you've made such a great start, it's such a competitive race, you will feel a little bit frustrated. You know, on paper, Harris is not the favourite in this one, but I tell you what, he's going well this evening.
Playoff time around the European leagues, the Swedish League playoffs are looming, the Polish League as well. Swedish League, of course, featuring regularly in the UK with British Eurosport. The Polish League playoffs start next weekend, and the British playoffs start the week after next. Sorry, 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time in the UK. So an exciting time of year in the leagues, and this is an exciting Grand Prix tonight here in Gorzow.
It has. We've had two or three restarts, but tell you what, we've seen some super stuff. Here we go. Let's keep our fingers crossed they all get around the first corner.
Yeah, Peter and I. Third time of asking. Hancock is there. Beautiful start, and Doyle goes down now. Well, the referee has put the red lights on again. Everson looking super quick down that back straight. But the red lights have gone on, and Doyle has gone down this time.
Clashed with Harris going to the first corner, elbows and handlebars going towards the first corner. No quarter given at all, and Doyle slips off.
If the referee's being consistent,
they'll all go back.
They'll all go back, yeah.
Yeah, they will do. You see it again. Doyle in the blue helmet colour, just clashing there with Harris. Harris coming across. They hit quite hard, and it unsettles him, and he goes down straight away.
Well,
fairly easy call, I think.
Riders back to the pits again.
Hancock had made a great start from gate 3. He's clear. But the clash between the two boys in the inside is a classic case of bunching. Shouldn't be too much of a problem for the ref.
Doyle walking back to the pits. There is no exclusion light on. We just await confirmation that it is all four riders back.
Not ideal this, though, for the equipment and for the state of mind in riders. You know, having to keep doing the starts.
It is all four, confirmation.
Yeah, all four back, which is the right decision. Doyle, of course, will be frustrated. He's got cleaned up a couple of times going into the first corner. That's the second time he's been on his backside there. Phil Morris there, the race director, just checking he's okay. We'll give him a little bit more time. Make sure that the bike is up to speed. When you hit the deck like that, unfortunately, the chains and the clutch get full of dirt, and the mechanics will have to work very quickly now to get it knocked back into shape for the rerun.
Yeah, I had a long chat with Phil Morris, the Grand Prix race director, in his first year in the job. Had a long chat with him last night. It's fair to say one of the things that he was telling us were quite enlightening, and the fact that it's been a real baptism of fire for Phil Morris as the Grand Prix race director. I had a real good chat with him last night. It was fascinating to hear what he was saying.
It's unbelievable. I can't imagine that he, in his wildest dreams, that he would have envisaged the sort of season he has had, you know. But to his credit, he's kept going. Not an easy job at times. Just a few moments now for riders just to be able to get themselves gathered. As I say, this is not ideal from a competitor's point of view, because keep going to the start, you've hit the front. Harris missed it that time, and Hancock had got the advantage. Doyle was on his backside. It's unsettling, and you get to a point where you're just desperate to get round the first corner and get the race underway.
We've got a Mexican wave going around the stadium, the Mexican wave that was introduced in the World Football Cup of 1986 and still lasting the test of time here in the Jan Sarge Stadium. So brilliant stuff here as the crowd are enjoying themselves. And Steve Brennan has somebody with him now.
No, unfortunately, Nigel, just me. I'm just a comment for you guys, really. I think there's a lot of riders just sat in their pit bay, heads back, sort of thinking about their next ride coming up. And it's a question for me to Kelvin, really. Kelvin, when this meeting sort of stop-starts like this, when it gets going, how hard is it for the riders just to keep your focus and keep thinking about the next ride?
It's challenging, Steve, because there's no rhythm to the meeting. You're expecting to be called up for your ride, and it's been delayed. So you do have to just keep your emotions in check. And particularly for these four riders now, you know, because they're having to just refocus each time. And, you know, Harris in the previous start had made a great start. So it really is a test of your mettle.
And also, I think there's obviously a physical aspect to that, Kelvin. Two of these guys have been on the deck. They've had to pick themselves up and think about making a start again and getting through that first corner.
2 minutes time allowance is on then here as the riders make their way out for heat number 9 for another restart. Steve Brandon down in the pits, catching up with the riders who make the headlines here tonight in the Edward Jansart Stadium.
Great stadium. It's fitting for the man who they hold in high regard in this part of the world. He really was a hero in this part of the world. Riders now making their way back round. Doyle once again, second time he's been down in the first corner. But as we've been speaking about, tough times mentally for riders to keep going to the start, keep having to refocus. As I say, for the boys, Everson in particular, he hasn't made a start in the first 3 attempts. Maybe it'll be 4th time, lucky for him.
Yep, here we go again then. And Hancock has been in the thick of the action here. They all have at one stage or another in the starts that we've had. Chris Harris, Jason Doyle, Greg Hancock, Niels Christian Everson. And after the first 8 heats, which went so quickly and we saw some fantastic action, it feels like we've had a bit of an interval and we're ready to go again.
Well, we have, effectively.
We have, yes,
you know, it's been
right.
enforced. It's not one that we were expecting, but it's nonetheless, there has been a delay because of the restarts. Teams now, mechanics now desperately hoping and keeping their fingers crossed that the riders can safely get round the first corner. Harris on the inside is probably in the best place, coming out here with a very competitive race. Here we go.
Yep, here we go then with heat number 9. We await the green light. And they're away. Now, can they get round the first turn? Doyle almost went there because it was all very tight again. Harris from Hancock. And now watch out for Niels Christian Everson because he's got a lot of speed in yellow here. Niels Christian Everson goes wide, but that allows Doyle up the inside. And Greg Hancock has the lead. Here comes Everson! What a move from Niels Christian Everson. Doyle hard on Harris as well. And now Everson is going to hunt down Greg Hancock.
Wow, what a move there from Niels Christian Everson. Harris is now pushing hard once again, desperately trying to get amongst the points, and he's got the better of Doyle. Out in front, the world champion who's unbeaten is looking like it's going to remain that way again. Doyle now getting the better of Harris. He's pushing now Everson, who's in second place. Once again, Fabulous Speedway for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, but Hancock majestic out in front.
Yeah, Greg Hancock looking superb here down the back straight. He goes for 3 wins out of 3, and he's going to win it comfortably in the end. One last swoop from Jason Doyle, but Everson has done enough in 2nd. Jason Doyle was 3rd. That was a real hard race. Once again, particularly in the early stages there. But Greg Hancock, simply superb, makes it 9 points out of a possible 9. And as early as heat 9, Greg Hancock knows he's in the semi-finals.
Well, what a ride there once again. We had to wait an awful long time, but it was worth the wait. Hancock out in front, unbeaten tonight, and it remains so. Brilliant stuff from him.
Yep, certainly was. Hancock the race winner then. 2nd place to Niels Christian Everson, who worked overtime there. And Hancock clear at the top. 9 points from 3 rides. He's there already in the semi-finals. He can really now relax knowing he's going to have an extra ride in the semi-finals with 2 races to go still for him.
Well, Hancock's on top form. He's got that clutch hand working brilliantly, and the bike charges to the first corner. Harris is there. He's right in amongst it early on, and they go down the back straight, and he gets into 2nd place. He then, unfortunately, gets beaten up by Jason Doyle, and Everson, what a move from him. Out of nowhere, as they complete the first lap, he charges up the inside here and goes from last to 2nd. Great effort there from the Danish rider, and he scored 5 points in his last 2 efforts. Doyle then round the outside of the Brit. Harris, who just got himself in the wrong place at the wrong time in the race. Hancock out in front. The team are delighted. 9 out of 9 for the world champion.
Yeah, brilliant from Greg Hancock. at his very best, away from the start, making it look easy as well.
So much easier in front, Mike.
It certainly is, especially when you're in a meeting like this where the guys are throwing the bike at each other.
Oh, the level of commitment is outstanding. It's really quite a sight to behold. It's been taking our breaths away tonight. Really has been top draw stuff.
Yep, so we build up to heat number 10 now. The halfway stage of the 20 to decide the semi-finalists is Bachelor off the outside. Didn't get off to the best of starts tonight by looping his bike down the back straight on a practice start.
Little embarrassing, that.
Did you ever do that?
Yeah, I did once, actually, yeah. Quite uncomfortable.
How did you feel?
Embarrassed.
Okay. Andreas Johnson going
Enough
off.
said.
Andreas Johnson off the inside in red. Michael Jepsen-Jensen, gate 2 in blue. Matt Zijanowski needs the points now. Gate 3 in white. I know that's an obvious statement as he's yet to score, but outside in yellow, Troy Bachelor. Heat number 10.
Well, commentator's curse. I fancied him for the final, Janowski. Knows this place awfully well and can't believe he hasn't scored. He's got the opportunities to make it, though. He's got heats remaining that will enable him. Big race for him.
Certainly is. Here we go then with heat number 10, and going into that first turn, Jepsen-Jensen superb in blue. Oh, he locks the bike up. Jepsen-Jensen has locked it, and now his Bachelor Janowski! Matt Zijanowski has raised the roof here in the Edward Jansart Stadium. He needs the points big time, and Jepsen-Jensen charges up the inside now of Andreas Johnson, and Bachelor is at the back. Again, great speedway, and here comes Johnson for more in the red helmet colour. Second place, Jepsen-Jensen, but Kelvin, what about that for a move from Matt Zijanowski?
Well, his back's against the wall. Came roaring round the outside in the first corner, squeezed past the opposition down the back straight on the opening lap, looking much more like the Magic Janowski we've come to know and love. Jepsen-Jensen in second place, enjoying a smashing Grand Prix, getting the better of Andreas Johnson. Troy Bachelor out the back, but look at Janowski. Jepsen-Jensen's a threat, but Janowski's going to win this one.
Yep, and much needed for Matt Zijanowski. Here he comes, down to the checkered flag. Listen to the roar of this Gorzow crowd. They're loving it here tonight. Fantastic stuff from Janowski. Really had to dig deep for that on his way back to the pits. And now he still has another race, another 2 races to come, where he has the opportunity to edge through to the semi-finals, because he's got 3 points on the board now, another couple of wins, and he really will have the opportunity to get into the semi-finals. That was a big heat for Matt Zijanowski. The pole in his home country tonight. Confirmation, Janowski. Jepsen-Jensen, who's riding beautifully, he's on 7 now. Johnson was 3rd. And now here we see the standings. And Jepsen-Jensen really working hard. 7 points from 3 rides.
Good stuff.
Brilliant.
Super stuff from Jepsen-Jensen. Solid performance from him, within touching distance with a couple of races to go over the semis. Janowski had to work awfully hard here. Doesn't make a great getaway. Jepsen-Jensen blue helmet colour is there. Andreas Johnson, how tight is this? But Janowski squeezes around one, squeezes around another one, gets himself to the front. Home crowd absolutely on their feet, delighted with this one. The Polish rider, the Polish champion, a Grand Prix winner now, coming good when he really, really needs it. Watch it again. 4 abreast, down the back straight. Jepsen-Jensen, then Andreas Johnson. Very little racing room at all. Breathing in as he goes down the back straight on the opening lap and fires himself to the front. He needed that, really needed it. 2 more opportunities. Who knows, he could still make the semi-final.
Yeah, had a crash recently. Magic Janowski now. Pedersen, 2nd in the world standings. Woffenden leads them, and they're up against each other here. Woffenden with a 16-point lead on Pedersen. Pedersen's off 2. Woffenden is off the outside gate. Here we go with a real tasty heat number 11 now.
Absolutely.
Quite a lineup.
They all are, Nige.
Yeah, they are tonight. Brilliant. Christoph Kasperzak off the inside in red. Triple world champion Nicky Pedersen. Gate 2 blue, the brilliant date. Bartosz Smarslik, gate 3 in white. Don't rule him out. And Ty Woffenden super quick tonight. He's off the outside in yellow and is unbeaten in 2.
Yeah, Woffenden not entirely satisfied with the way the bike goes to the first corner, but delighted with the speed once it gets there. He really has been flying tonight. Pedersen failed to score last time, needs to produce something good here, needs to beat Woofenden, needs to keep Woofenden at bay. Here we go.
Yeah, a massive heat number 11 here, and Pedersen has made a good one off gate number 2. You can be sure that Woofenden is going to try the highlight up the inside. He's Smarslik. Here comes Woofenden! Oh my goodness
wonderful.
me! He looked out of contention, and he has just stayed out of trouble, picks the opposition off, he's got the lead, and now Smarslik holds second. Third is Nicky Pedersen. Christoph Kasperzak at the back, but Woofenden went from last to first yet again.
What a first corner there from Ty Woofenden. Was out of it, looked over his left shoulder, jogged back to the inside and past 3 riders and fired himself to the front. Smarslik hanging on in second place. Nicky Pedersen in third, coming under pressure from Christoph Kasperzak. But Ty Woofenden, what a fabulous move on the opening lap. Fantastic.
Ty Woofenden offering hand signals. He's telling Smarslik to go inside, and that's what he's doing. It's Ty Woofenden with the lead, and look at the ease with which he's going to win this race. Ty Woofenden of Great Britain gets the 3 points and punches the air. Bartosz Smarslik second, Nicky Pedersen third, and Ty Woofenden now leads the World Championship by 18 points. And Nicky Pedersen heads back to the pits, and he's clapping Christoph Kasperzak. What is all that about?
Don't know.
What is all that about now?
Don't really need to know. What you need to know is that Ty Woofenden has just stretched the World Championship lead by another 2 points. A fabulous ride from him. He was cruising out in front. He had all the time in the world, was looking around, making hand signals. I've never seen anything like it in my life. He had it all wrapped up. Fantastic move in the first corner. Can't wait to see it again. Woofenden at his very best.
9 points out of 9, level with Hancock now. Smarslik, Pedersen, Kasperzak at the back, but a bit of controversy between Nicky and KK. After the race, Nicky waited for Kasperzak and then sarcastically applauded him as he went back to the pits, but that man doesn't care.
No.
He's done it again.
Massive psychological blow here this evening. Really striking when he needs it. Doesn't make the start from the outside. Now looks to his left. There's a moment here, split-second decision, and look at the speed. Swoops down the inside, gets the better of the 3 riders and fires himself to the front. And from there on in, he had it all under control. Immediately, he's got so much time, the calmness, the quick thinking, the split-second decision, and gets himself to the front. Nicky Pedersen slamming in the side of Kasperzak. That's what that's all about on the opening lap. Really was very tough. Don't know quite what that's about, but he's gesturing there to Smarslik. Quite clearly they're happy with the result. Nicky Pedersen is not.
Well, Ty Woofenden, it has to be said, is riding beautifully. He said in the week, didn't he, that he likes this track. He's looking relaxed, he's looking calm.
Yeah, brilliant.
And yeah, he's a man on form. Now, KK, again, yet to score from 3 rides.
Oh, it's desperate.
What is going on?
Absolutely desperate, can't explain it. Pedersen obviously frustrated. Started so well. His opening ride was terrific, but then subsequently 1 point from the next 2. Just not quite being at the races. But Woofenden, when he was in front, had unreal speed. That really was a sight to behold.
Meet 12, Chris Holder off the inside needs points. So does Peter Killerman off 2. Thomas H. Jellison, gate 3 in white. Matty Zagar outside in the yellow helmet colour. Holder, who really has got stuck in tonight.
Yeah, he has. Touch frustrated, I think, Nigel. Certainly last time when he went over the line, he really was kicking himself. Felt really frustrated to have just thrown away the second place or just given up the second place. Maybe on the inside here, he can get himself to the front.
Yep, here we go then, heat number 12. And that's a good start from Peter Killerman off gate 2, but what about Zagar off the outside? Matty Zagar sweeps around the outside. Killerman really trying to stay in contention here. Jonasson in white goes around the outside of Chris Holder, who holds the inside line right now, and Holder has come through into 3rd. Charges up the inside, whether it's in the front or at the back, the racing is fast and furious, but Matty Zagar is the man here in heat number 12.
He is indeed. That's a great opening lap from Zagar. Zagar, such a super looking rider. He's a real stylist on the bike. He's a tall man, but he looks very accomplished and very comfortable, and he's generating plenty of speed. He's comfortable. Holder's had to work hard to get himself into third place, and there's no question that Kilderman is really having to ride his socks off in second place to keep the former world champion back in third. But the race is about Zagar, Nigel. He really is flying in front.
Yep, Holder's going to have one last go on the man in blue, Peter Killerman, but it's going to be Matti Zagar takes the checkered flag. Big couple of days coming up for him. He's back in the UK tomorrow with Bellevue. When he rides for them at home, and if they don't make the playoffs, that could be the last meeting at their current home before they move. So a big day tomorrow, and then on Monday, he goes to Wolverhampton in the Elite League. So 2 huge days for Matti Zagar and Bellevue, and they need him on that form because he rode beautifully there. Zagar, Killerman, Holder and Jonassen. That's the finishing order. This is how it looks after 12 heats now here in Gorzow. Hancock and Woffinden clear leaders on 9 points apiece. Let's reflect on the last few heats. We love Speedway.
Well, we do love Speedway, particularly when it's like this. It really has been a treat tonight. Zagar coming up with a super ride. He's coming from the outside. Kilderman makes a good one from gate 2, but just as they get to the first corner, Zagar coming from gate 4 allows the bike to hit the dirt, and he gets the speed down the back straight to get himself to the front. Holder not quite managing to get there off the inside, but Kilderman just slamming the door shut as they get to the first corner. But he has to work hard, and he gets the better of Thomas A. Jonassen and gets himself into third place. But Zagar out in front. This is a super ride, an important pass of the night, and comes up with a vital win, giving himself every chance of moving on towards the semi-final. It's a great night of Speedway. Can't believe that anybody can't enjoy this. 6 points for Zagar. Got to have a shout for the semis.
Yeah, good Speedway. Darkness has fallen here on Gorzow tonight. The floodlights are beaming down on the circuit, and we are seeing some fantastic Speedway. Truly fantastic. Hope you're enjoying our coverage as well. Really is an enjoyable Speedway meeting here in a real Speedway town. And I think we can hear from a couple of the riders now. Let's head down to the pits. Niels Christian Everson with Steve.
Niels, the bike stopped in your first one, but 5 very good points from there.
Yeah, it's working all right now. I blew my engine in the first race. Completely dead, so yeah, unfortunately, yeah, what can you do? But I had 2 good races now, and hopefully I can keep going.
A very frustrating start when you know you've probably got the ideal setup for a track you ride so often.
Yeah, it already felt a little bit weird on the practice skate. But it didn't sound wrong. But yeah, there we go.
But you've banked the race win, which could be very important on countback. Another yellow and a white to go, but you just got to put the points out there.
Yeah, you just got to take one race as it comes, do my best, and hopefully I will end up in the semis and then later the final.
Appreciate your time, thank you.
Thanks. Hello, Nicole.
Yeah, Niels Christian Everson riding beautifully, really getting stuck in. It's a tough, uncompromising Grand Prix tonight. Beautiful shots here, fantastic Speedway. And Jason Doyle has really been in the thick of it tonight as well. Really tough, battling away. And Jason Doyle is with our man Steve Brandon now.
Jason, another man on 5 points, but you've earned every single one of them.
Yeah, I've had a few crashes tonight, more than I've had baked dinners at the moment. It's a tough old night. I'm not making the best of starts, but it's a proper racetrack tonight, and every point's vital.
You've had a chance to ride here in the Extra Liga this year, but it is a great racetrack.
Yeah, definitely. The fans are fantastic. They're right on the track. But like you're seeing at the moment, there's so many lines, and it's not just making starts.
We're quite a long way into the season now, your first Grand Prix season. How much have you learned? How much you still need to learn?
I'm still an apprentice at the moment. There's so much more to learn in Grand Prix racing than normal league racing. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying it, but there's a long way to go.
Now you've got to look at every point that you can bank, you have to take now.
Yeah, definitely. Got 4 more rounds left. Every point's vital, like I said, and yeah, we're just going to bag them and see what happens tonight.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, really good effort from Jason Doyle. The race earlier on where he was able to come through from 4th place and hit the front was really quite a highlight of the evening so far, but that's a highlight among many so far this evening. It really has been a very entertaining Grand Prix, and a real privilege to be here. Riders riding with emotion, with guts and determination, ideal conditions, and a full house. Got to say, it's a super night of entertainment.
Yep, certainly is. They're doing some track work now. They're going to put some water down. Have to try and stay on top of the track conditions, of course, and I have to say that Hancock and Woofenden are in a different league so far tonight, Kelf.
They are. I think that Woofenden probably has just got the edge with the speed he's generating after a lap. I mean, 2 laps into his last ride, he was basically just sort of telling riders where they should be riding behind him. And it really was quite extraordinary in that regard. But yes, Hancock's got his trapping hand on. He's really jet propelled away from the tapes. And it could well be very interesting when those 2 boys come head to head later this evening. But certainly for Nicky Pedersen, it hasn't been the best of nights, and it's playing into Ty's hand. I get the feeling Woofenden was a little fortunate in Horsens, wasn't at his best, but also Pedersen had a poor night. But tonight, Woofenden is fired up and is really producing the big performances when he needs it.
Yep, very much so. And again, we welcome our friends down under in Australia. If you are enjoying the action,
they must be pleased.
Have to, really, yeah.
Oh, they have to, but they must be pleased with Jason Doyle, mustn't they, the Australian audience, because there's no question that he has been done himself proud. I do believe he'll win a Grand Prix in the not too distant future. He's just made a couple of little mistakes at crucial moments, particularly in Denmark last time, and I'm sure he was disappointed with that. Hancock just beginning to make himself ready, and Woofenden and Hancock go head-to-head in the very next heat. Heat 13, and the 2 boys that are unbeaten so far coming out. Something's got to give, but can't wait for that clash, which is only just a few moments away.
Yeah, and I know the Parker family down in Australia will be watching the action tonight with a heavy heart, says Angie Parker.
Yeah.
Hi to Angie and Shane. Hope you're okay. As we build up to heat number 13 coming up shortly. Well, Greg Hancock immaculate tonight, and it is Woofenden against Hancock here in heat number 13. The top 2 on the night, but look at that lead for Woofenden. He's hit triple figures now, 100 Grand Prix points. Pedersen on 82, and Nicky cannot afford to allow him to go too much further clear than 18 points, Kelf.
No, not at all. And as I say, Woofenden was probably fortunate last time, and he's turned the tables on Pedersen this time. Pedersen, who started well, but then has faded in his last 2, and Woofenden's just gained in strength every time he's gone out there. But there are 2 unbeaten riders. Woofenden's one. That man, Hancock, is another. Great clash here coming up. It has been a sensational night of Speedway so far. I would challenge anybody to tell me that this hasn't been true entertainment. Heat number 13, I'm sure, will be another great Speedway race.
Very much so. Heat 13, clash of the big guns once again here. Every race is that, though, isn't it, in a GP? And it's coming up here. What a lineup for heat number 13. Matti Zegar, winner of the previous race, heat number 12. Andreas Jonsson has really got stuck in tonight, but has found it tough. Now the 2 maximum men on the outside 2 gates. Woofenden off 3, Hancock off 4. Something has to give here now.
It does indeed, and Woofenden hasn't been making quite a good starts as Hancock. So Hancock really, I fancy, needs to drop the clutch at the right time and trust his bike will drag him to the first corner. Once he hits the front, of course, he's a wily character, but I just sense nice. My instinct is that the speed that Woofenden has demonstrated so far tonight, I think he's going to be an extremely difficult man to beat wherever he is on the track.
Here we go then, heat number 13. Which way will this one go? It's a good start from Zegar, but look at Woofenden off gate number 3. Now Zegar has to close the door. Woofenden really working hard because Jonsson is there. Down the back straight, not a lot of room. Woofenden's trying the outside run. They have just watered it. Zegar with the lead. Woofenden is second now. Here comes Jonsson in third, and Woofenden is relying on the high line around the outside. outside with Hancock at the back.
Yeah, Woofenden's going to generate a lot of speed here, Nigel. You're dead right, they have watered the track. The middle of the track was greasy. Zagar will hug the inside, and he's out in front. I don't know for how much longer. Woofenden spectacular around the outside. So much speed, he's going to get to the front.
Goodness me!
What a move from Woofenden.
How on earth has he managed that? Ty Woofenden is in a league of his own tonight. Matty Zagar second. Third is AJ. Greg's in the back. But Ty Woofenden has done it the hard way again. Lined up Zagar magnificently. And Britain's Ty Woofenden makes it 12 out of 12. And that is simply stunning. And he leads the World Championship by a staggering 21 points over Nicky Pedersen, who has a race in hand.
Well, is this the night where he seals his second World Championship? Will we be looking back on this night and saying that's where it all turned around? What a night it's been. What a ride again. You just sense that Zagar, as hard as he was trying out in front, he really wasn't going to be able to resist that charge from Woofenden. The way he was running around the outside in the first turn really was very spectacular, and finally he pulled it off. What a ride again.
Rides for Euro Club Wroclaw in Poland, of course. Ty Woofenden.
Yes, he does.
Vetlander in Sweden as well. Woofenden the winner. Leads on 12 points. Hancock at the back on that occasion, but my goodness me, he's done it the hard way there. He's done it the simple way from the start a couple of times. He's been here, there and everywhere.
Well,
Ty Woofenden, you have to take your hat off to this fella.
Absolutely. His performances so far tonight have been absolutely out of the top drawer. He makes a decent start from gate 3. I thought for a moment he was going to hit the front there, but you nailed it in commentary, Nige, because they have watered it, and he just spun up a little bit early doors. Zagar then rides a clever line. Ordinarily, I think against normal human beings, Zagar would have won the race, but Woofenden tonight is inspired.
Not a normal human being then?
No, not at all. He's breathing different air because he is absolutely flying. Hancock unbeaten, unfortunately, for the world champion, is out the back. Woofenden coming charging around the outside. Finally that move on the first corner, high up near the air fence, generates the speed that's required. Hancock working overtime out the back. That's the first time he hasn't managed to win a race tonight. That's a shame for him. But Woofenden, I've got to say, it's going to plan tonight. Very relaxed in the pits, unbeaten.
Yeah, just a little bit. He's on a rocket ship, isn't he? Peter Johns, his engine tuner, who
got
he
a
credits
turbo.
regularly.
It's a turbo that kicks in after 2 laps because suddenly he's sort of there or thereabouts, and then he sort of turns the turbo on and fires himself to the front. You just felt that Zagar, as hard as he was trying, he wasn't going to be able to resist that charge.
So we move on to heat number 14 now with Troy Batchelor off the inside. Chris Holder needing points here. Christoph Kasperzak yet to score, and Niels Christian Iversen, the Gorzow rider, really looking for it too. So a lot of pressure on Niels Christian Iversen. Can he get there here with 5 points to his name?
Well, he sounded a lot more enthusiastic last time. Disappointing to lose an engine when you explode it because they're expensive. But the second bike is running nicely. Kasperzak disappointing, but certainly Holder could do with a point or two.
Certainly could here. Now, who's going to hit that first turn? Batchelor off one, has got the lead, but now Holder is going to come around the outside. And watch out for Iversen. Oh, he's just gone through him. How on earth has he managed that? Down the back straight, he spotted the gap, and he was there to pounce. Niels Christian Iversen simply stunning. Chris Holder is second. Troy Batchelor third. Christoph Kasperzak at the back once again. But Kelvin, that was something special from Niels Christian Iversen.
It was indeed. Iversen got squeezed out initially, squared the corner off, and just literally floated through the opposition and fired himself to the front. Holder's pushing hard in second place. Batchelor and Kasperzak having a real battle for just 1 point. But Niels Christian Iversen, got to take your hat off to him. Started in a dreadful way this evening with losing an engine, but since then has responded brilliantly. Looking like he's going to get 8 points from the next 3.
Yep, with one ride to go, Niels Christian Iversen putting himself well and truly in the frame for a semi-final spot. Niels Christian Iversen, who rides his Polish League Speedway here at Gorzow with a fantastic win. Chris Holder was second, Troy Batchelor third, and once again Christoph Kasperzak at the back, which is a real mystery for KK because he is a fantastic Speedway rider, we know that.
What a ride.
Problems for KK.
What are the moves we're seeing in the
special.
first corner is special. That's a great way to describe it. Everson's once again right out of the top draw, and Niels Christian Everson has responded brilliantly after a disappointing start.
Yep, 8 points now for Niels Christian Everson, such as the importance of that win for him. Joins Zagar on 8 points, with Hancock on 9 and Woffenden the clear leader on 12. So super ride. Again, he just went through the middle, spotted the gap down the back straight, and he's got a lot of speed.
A lot of speed and very brave as well. Boys are away, they come into the first corner. It's Holder there really that's just got his nose in front with Batchelor on the inside. Everson, who didn't make a good start, is able to just thread himself through the two Australians down the back straight and gets the better of them. So much speed he generated. He comes across Kasperzak, but he's stuffed on the outside there, and then he squares the corner off. And look at that speed that suddenly he generates 2/3 of the way down the back straight. Fantastic from him, and quite clearly delighted. And he'll be pleased because he's found it tough here this year for Gorzow. There's no question that Gorzow at times have been desperate. But there he is on to 8 points. 6 points for Holder. He needs a big last race if he's going to make the semi-finals. But all credit to Everson. A great turnaround in his fortunes.
Yep, very much so. Here we go with heat number 15. And for me, this fellow's been one of the most entertaining riders, Michael Jepsen Jensen. It's really been good to watch tonight.
Yeah, he's riding well.
Yeah, good to see. Now, heat number 15 it is, and a big race here for Doyle. Schmarslik off the inside 2 gates, 5 points apiece. If they're going to get into the semi-finals, they need to really get in the points here. Doyle and Schmarslik off the inside 2 on 5 apiece. Jonasson off 3, and Michael Jepsen Jensen, hugely entertaining, outside in yellow.
Yeah, he's riding well. Schmarslik, of course, won here last year. Will be desperate to, certainly at the very least, make the semi-finals, but is having it all his own way tonight, so he'll be looking for a big ride. Doyle, of course, is riding nicely, but Jepsen Jensen, he is the main threat. He's got speed here this evening.
Yep, certainly has. Heat number 15 it is. Oh, bit of movement at the start.
Red light
Doyle
got to
was
come
the
on.
man, and straight away the red lights came on.
No doubt.
Lucky not to touch them.
Very lucky indeed. Tension on the start line again. We've seen a lot of restarts this evening, gesturing to his team to come out and check the clutch. Not happy. Look, lost a lot of that. May well have had a clutch problem there, and that may well threaten the use of that bike, or something's happened. Green lights on. They're concentrating on the... Ooh! Very close indeed. Another ooh and an ah from the Tatum and Pearson gang. Certainly got very close indeed. That's Speedway speak for very close people.
Yeah. Well,
red light came on immediately, no surprise.
Yeah, and it's a good call from you as well. There is concern in the Doyle pit camp there about...
Yeah, sometimes, Nige, you can have your clutch arm and the adjusters come loose or partially collapse. They are having to work on it.
The adjusters?
The adjusters.
I haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
All right, well, I'll carry on. And that's when they can actually just have to completely readjust it and keep their fingers crossed that nothing too substantial has gone wrong. Jepsen Jensen, well, he'll be pleased there's a second chance.
Yeah, super performance. The clock is ticking. 2-minute time allowance here in Gorzow, the Edward Jansart Stadium, packed to the rafters. Walking distance, what, about a 15-minute walk from the river. The touristy area of Gorzow. Backs onto the town.
Real motor show there last night that was packed with people and all sorts of demonstrations and drifting and bikes. All happening on.
As well.
The sound system was quite extraordinary, but they do know how to put on a party in this part of the world.
Especially on a Grand Prix weekend, on a Friday night of the Grand Prix, the motorsport festival that they have that you've just referred to, it makes it a whole weekend, doesn't it?
Yeah, and of course they've had the added bonus that it's been gorgeous weather, so
yes,
it was beautiful evening there, sat on the banks of the river and enjoying the atmosphere. I'm enjoying the atmosphere here as well. This has been a real treat to be here, and it's been a very, very entertaining evening. Heat 15, it's a restart, but Doyle on the inside needs to sit still.
Doyle it is then. Gate 2 is Bartosz Schmarslik. Gate 3 is Thomas H. Jonasson and Michael Jepsen Jensen going off the outside. Another restart then here. There's been quite a few tonight. Jesper Steentoft, the referee, has been kept on his tone. Michael Jepsen Jensen's father on the right of your screen there. Can be proud of his lad's effort tonight, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Here we go. Heat number 15. They're away first time of asking, and Smarslik's made a beauty off gate number 2. Smarslik has the lead. Listen to the roar of the crowd. Now Jepsen Jensen charges hard round the outside. Here comes Jepsen Jensen. Can he go wide? Smarslik's gone wide. Doyle up the inside.
Oh.
Now Jepsen Jensen returns the compliment, and he's really charging hard after the brilliant youngster that is Bartosz Smarslik. The atmosphere is electric here in the Edward Janssart Stadium, and Smarslik is turning on the style.
Yeah, big dime down the outside. All sorts of fireworks going on behind him with Doyle and Jepsen Jensen really going at it hard. Smarslik made a fabulous start out of gate 2, and he's looking really good. The crowd are absolutely overjoyed with this. Smarslik, last year's winner, was looking for a big ride. He's duly coming up with something here. Jepsen Jensen stamping his authority on second place. Doyle back in third, but the race is about Smarslik.
Well, he really is reveling in the conditions here. Listen to the roar. Let the crowd bring him home. Whoa, what a ride from Bartosz Smarslik of Gorzow, the home favourite, the wild card. He loves this GP. He would love to be a fully fledged Grand Prix rider. And what a race from Bartosz Smarslik. Jepsen Jensen in the thick of it as well. But the brilliant youngster does it again in Heat 15, Kelf.
Absolutely, fabulous ride. He could well be a fully fledged Grand Prix rider as soon as next weekend, of course. He's in the GP Challenge in Rybnik, and the first 3 qualified, but this time Smarslik out of the start, no mistakes. Fantastic ride from him.
Jepsen Jensen second, Doyle was third, and Jonassen at the back, and this is what it means. Jepsen Jensen's on 9, level with Hancock now, and Jepsen Jensen surely now has booked his place in the semi-finals. Super ride. Smarslik has given himself a great shout. 8 points now for him. Doyle still with the work to do on 6, but the youngster, what a ride from gate number 2.
Yeah, he makes gate 2 work a treat, doesn't he? He gets the better of Doyle to the first corner and clamps him down on the inside. Jepsen Jensen round the outside, gets the better of Doyle and gets himself into second place. But Smarslik delighting the home crowd here. Of course, he rides for Gorzow, won the GP here before. He's been wild card for at least the last 3 years, and he enjoys racing here, no question about that. Leads the Under-21 World Championship at this stage. Very good chance of him trying to qualify for next year's Grand Prix Series as well next weekend. But Smarslik, delighting the home crowd, roars to the front and picks up a very valuable 3 points. 8 points might just be enough already to make the semi-finals.
Yeah, you finish in the top 8 of this year's series. You book your place in 2016 GP. The top 3 from Rybnik next weekend that Kelvin's just been referring to as the Grand Prix Challenge. They make it up to 11. So they will be 11 qualifiers.
4 permanent picks.
Next year. 4 permanent picks from the organisers and the FIM. Surely Jarek Hampel has got to be one of those.
Yeah.
And then a wild card per meeting. So that's how it pans out. Heat 16. Nicky Pedersen desperate for points here now off gate 1. Chris Harris goes off gate number 2 in blue. Peter Killerman gate 3 in white. Matt Sayanovsky off the outside in yellow. Is there pressure on Pedersen, or will he think, hey, let's just go out there and do our best?
I don't think he works that way. I think there's pressure on Pedersen big time. Needs the 3 points here. Janowski on the outside needs a big race as well.
What a start from Peter Killerman. The red lights are on straight away once again. How many restarts are we having tonight?
Plenty.
For unsatisfactory starts, and by that I mean at the tapes. I don't mean first bend falls. I mean unsatisfactory starts. I thought he pulled Greg Hancock up on one that was unnecessary. But this one, let's have a look. Kilderman made a beauty.
Marginal.
He's just nudged away. Just had a little nibble there. Yeah, I think that's a good decision.
And he does gain an advantage, so fair play.
Good decision, yeah.
Fair play to the referee, calls it right. Frustrating for everybody, obviously, with the delay again, but he did gain an advantage, so red light rightly comes on, and they're going to have to just settle down. Pedersen, Nigel, you asked the question before the race about will he be just sort of thinking matter of fact, well, it's slipping away. I don't think Pedersen works like that. We saw the way he got the better of Woofenden in a runoff for last year's 3rd place, bronze medal, and he charged and he made sure he gets it. I don't think he ever really knows when he's beaten, so Nicky Pedersen will be a dangerous animal until it's mathematically all over, I believe.
Well, it has to be said as well that tonight, wonderful moment before the start, which our viewers around the world may not have caught, those that were perhaps back in the studio with their TV coverage. 17,000 fans here chanting Darcy Ward,
yeah.
Darcy Ward.
Yeah, very special.
And that was a real emotional moment. And, you know, it's just been one of those nights where I think these boys have just put on a real special show tonight. Been a great night of Speedway, and it's been uplifting after, you know, let's fair to say, it's been a worrying and a tough week for everyone.
It has. It's been, you know, it could have been a real downer here this evening, but all credit to 16 riders. They've come here and they put on a fabulous show, one that they should be rightly proud of. There's still plenty of action to come, but you're absolutely right, Nigel. It has been an entertaining evening. Plenty of racing to come. Janowski on the outside needs a big ride. Started poorly with 2 zeros and came up with a win last time. And we'll be keeping our fingers crossed that he can keep going. A restart for Heat 16. Pedersen on the inside needs a win.
Yep, and Nicky Pedersen goes off the inside. Gate number 2 is Chris Harris. Peter Killerman, gate 3. And off the outside is Maciej Janowski. Here we go. Heat number 16, it is there. Second time of asking. And it's a good start from Nicky Pedersen off the inside gate. Super start from Pedersen now. Janowski is squeezed out by Killerman down that back straight, and now Killerman is going to take up the challenge on Nicky Pedersen. He's gone wide, and now he's got lots of speed coming down that turn, and he's going to have a real go on Pedersen going into lap 2.
He is indeed. Killerman spectacular, like Woofenden round the outside. Now he chops to the inside, no room there. Pedersen with eyes in the back of his head, keeps the door shut. Pedersen out in front, desperate for World Championship points, doesn't want to allow Woofenden any further forward. Harris hanging on to third place with Janowski, disappointing. Janowski now coming up the inside of the Brit, relegates Harris back to 4th place, or does he? Kelderman round the outside of Pedersen. Oh, they slam into each other. What an effort from Kelderman.
Yeah, Pedersen left no room. That's racing for you. And now Killerman is going to have one last go. 2 races in one here. Killerman has gone wide. Has he got the drop down to the line? Pedersen has just done enough. Well, that was ruthless Speedway.
Fabulous Speedway once again out in front. Gilderman coming on strong at least twice. Pedersen fighting for his life. What a Speedway race. Harris, and certainly was riding so hard with Janowski for 3rd place as well. I do believe the British rider hangs on. Pedersen
Nicky's just held on.
Just hanging on. What a race between the 2 Danish riders. Pedersen showing tremendous character. 2nd win on the night. Never knows when he's beaten, Nigel, that man.
He certainly doesn't. 2 races in one there. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
That happens again. You watch the front, I'll watch the back.
Okay, agreed.
Okay.
Can we swap after 2 laps?
Yeah. Pedersen from Killerman, from Harris in 3rd. He'll never work harder for a point, Chris Harris. And Maciej Janowski at the back. That's how it stands after 4 rides each in the race for the semi-finals here.
Brilliant stuff, Nicky Pedersen. We were talking about it before the race. What sort of Pedersen are we going to see? We see the one that we've come to see so very often. Gets to the front and stays there. Look at Kilderman. He takes care of Janowski, buries him up against the air fence early on in the race. Certainly the Pedersen camper waving him on. Here we see the start again. Janowski, well, Harris and Janowski put on a great show just for 1 point, and there was a fabulous race for the 3 points between the 2 Danish riders, Peter Kilderman and Nicky Pedersen out in front. 4 laps of sheer entertainment. Janowski and Harris there battling so hard. Kilderman bouncing off the fence when Nicky Pedersen slams the door shut. Harris now coming back up the inside, getting the better of Janowski. Janowski really desperate for points. It just hasn't been his night. But Pedersen, that's the 2nd win that gives him a chance to the semi-finals. He needed it. And the 3-time former world champion showing a reason why he won those world championships. He shows great character, 7 points, and he's got the inside gate again.
Yeah, looking good for a semi-final spot, Nicky Pedersen. And of course, if he went to count back, he's got 2 race wins under his belt.
Vital, absolutely vital.
But he'll fancy his chances in heat number 18. Now, Niels Christian Iversen has been one of the most hard-working riders tonight. He's with Steve Brandon.
Niels, the commentators have just said very hard-working, a very smart first corner in the last one.
Yeah, it's I had twice gate 4 now, but I need to up my gating a little bit. You know, it will make life a little bit easier.
Is it not more fun when you know you've got that much speed?
I don't know if it's fun, but you know, if the wrong people is in front of you, then you won't pass them.
But importantly, you're building close to a semi-final spot, and that's where all the big points come from.
Yeah, I'm very much in it still. So I have another one. Hopefully, I can make another big result, and yeah, then we'll see in the semi.
And still, just not quite there consistency-wise.
No, I think it's mainly my gating, which is the problem. You know, I have loads of speed, and I feel like I'm riding well, and I'm riding hard enough. So yeah, a little bit better gates will do.
Gate 3 in heat 20. You're going to need another smart first corner, I think.
Oh no, we'll see.
Thanks. Thanks, Niels.
Yeah, good stuff from Everson. He's a real strong rider and has a tremendous amount of mental strength, because this evening it didn't start well. And there's high expectations here for him. It's not a home Grand Prix in the fact that he's a Danish rider riding in Poland, but it's a home Grand Prix in the respect that it is his club in Poland. And Gorzow started the season, the league team, very poorly, and Everson has shown great determination this evening and is giving himself every chance of making the semi-finals. So all credit to him.
Let's hear from Greg Hancock now with Steve Brandon.
Greg, 3 great rides, and you got beat up a little bit in the first lap and the 4th one.
You can say that again. I definitely ate plenty of dirt in that one, so not something I want to get used to tonight.
Red inside gate in the last one. You're really going to have to make that count.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's you've got to take advantage of those inside gates, and you know, just want to keep it rolling. I want to go all the way to the final.
And looking at that 4th ride, that was a blip. Setup-wise, you're happy with where you're going, happy with speed?
Yeah, just didn't quite get across there. Ty made a great one, and pretty much that left me hanging there. So nothing to complain about right now.
You're in the next one. Thanks for your time.
You got it. Hey, remember, if you want to win this suit, go to my website.
Nice one. Good stuff, and a great show of respect. The world champion this year has been wearing a different suit at every Grand Prix. He's had sponsors that have been coming in, and he's been wearing that. But out of the respect to Darcy Ward and the friendship they have, great gesture by Greg Hancock to be wearing a replica suit for Darcy Ward this evening. Watering going on, track preparation going on. Very important races coming up.
Great ride from Nicky Pedersen last time out, and he is with Steve.
Nicky, never a bad time to win a race in a Grand Prix, but that one was almost vital.
Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit with the speed. You know, the setup, we're not quite there yet. We're a little bit behind all the time, actually. I have made 4 good gates today, but if you not have the right setup and the right speed, you know, then it seems to pull into you all the time, so I don't really get the run so I can race my own line. So we keep making small changes, and we need to see if we can improve a little bit.
Gate 1 again, that's going to help. You know what to expect if you can get to the first corner where you want to be.
Yeah, correct, but I still looking a little bit for a bit more speed. You know, I had Pete all the way in my back for 4 laps, so we make some changes, and we're going to see if that's going to improve.
A long way to go in the championship when we look at this is the sort of 5th to go, but you really got to start pegging some big points back.
Well, we're not having the speed like Ty's having at the moment. He's tremendous, you know, whatever he's doing, you know, you see the race before he was behind, you know, all the way last, and then all of a sudden he was in front, you know. Tremendous racing for him. He have the equipment that's going the right direction, you know, so fair play so far.
All right, thanks for your time, thanks for your honesty.
That's
yeah,
cool.
Good interview from Nicky there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, because it must be a little galling when he sees he's struggling for speed, and he's looking at his #1 rival, who is literally overwhelmed with speed. Not easy to take, but all credit to him. He's taking that on the chin.
Yeah, well, Greg Hancock going off the inside gate here then in this one. Heat number 17. A win and would put him into 12 points. So looking to make gate number 1 count. And he's up against Kasperzak, who's yet to score. Janowski, who's only got 3, and Jonasson, who's got 1. So Hancock up against 3 riders here that really can't make the semi-finals. So clear favourite for this race.
Absolutely, and he'll be relishing the fact that he's off the inside. They have watered the track in the middle of the track, so be interesting to see what decision he makes in the first corner. You can see that the track is just glistening a little bit in the first corner. Kasperzak, desperate. Look at the body language there of Kasperzak. Trudges back to the bike, and really I think his mind is scrambled right now. And for a rider that has so much talent, it's desperate to see him struggling to score any points at all at this level, and particularly when you consider he is riding at his home club. Hancock, the favourite on the inside.
Here we go with heat number 17 then. Greg Hancock going off the inside in red. 9 points from 4 rides. Krzysztof Kasperzak, gate 2. Matt Janowski off gate number 3 in white. And Thomas H. Jonasson going off the outside in yellow. How Hancock would love to get a win under his belt. The more points you score, the higher up the standings you go, the better gate pick you get in the semi-finals. Richard Child back in the Greg Hancock camp tonight. Marek Cieślak, the Polish national team manager, had a brief spell in the UK as a rider with the White City Rebels back in 1970-something.
Okay, definitely in the 70s, and I'll tell you what, it was tough going to get there in those days, but he's keenly looking on because he's got 2 representatives here, and they're struggling. Janowski is a surprise. Hancock on the inside, he's the favourite.
Yep, certainly is, and he's made a superstar, Greg Hancock. But what about Janowski here in the white helmet now? Hancock has the advantage. Janowski is second. Kasperzak is third right now, and Kasperzak having a real go on his fellow countryman. Matt Janowski takes him wide, or goes wide, I should say. Closes the door on Janowski. Hancock then. Janowski charging up the inside, but Kasperzak holds the line.
Wow.
Jonasson is at the back. It's tough, but Greg Hancock has got the race under control.
Yeah, well, that's done Hancock a favour. The 2 Polish boys throwing the bike at each other. It's given Hancock a lot of breathing space. Gate 1, great first corner from the world champion, and he's comfortable out in front. Janowski and Kasperzak not enjoying great nights, but they're having a fierce battle for second place. Thomas H. Jonasson out the back. Hancock's got it all lapped up. Here comes Janowski up the inside of Kasperzak. What a battle between the 2 Polish boys for second place.
Yeah, this is for second. Hancock is gone, well clear. Greg Hancock is going to finish on 12 points going into the semi-finals. Super ride from Greg Hancock. Matt Janowski second, Krzysztof Kasperzak was third. Hancock wearing his Darcy Ward Kevlars.
Super
really
ride.
is riding superbly, absolutely.
Super ride. The inside gate works a treat. Janowski, of course, has been mentored by Hancock for a long period of time. Congratulates him. He's delighted. Just a blip in his 4th ride this evening where he failed to score. Didn't enjoy pulling the tear off his goggles in that one. No need in heat 17 for the world champion. A clean pair of heels to the opposition.
Hancock, Janowski, Kasperzak and Jonasson was the finishing order on that occasion. And it does mean that Hancock goes level with Woffington on 12 points. But Woffington has a race in hand, and Hancock breezing through to the semi-final with 4 race wins under his belt, no problem at all.
Yeah, fabulous ride from Hancock. So he just turns the clock back every time. Ward certainly has been inspired being in those Kevlars here this evening. Off the inside, great effort. Initially Janowski's right there, but it's just been watered and it's a bit greasy, and Hancock gets the better of the opposition as they go down the back straight. Kasperzak showing more resolve here, coming through into second place, and I've got to say that Janowski and Kasperzak put on quite a show for 3.5 laps. They really do have a go at each other, and very competitive for the 2 points. And certainly it was quite entertaining with Janowski coming through. Hancock, what he's cleared off. These 2 boys falling over each other actually does the American a favour. He's able to stretch his lead, but Janowski, who's had a disappointing evening, he'll be pleased with the 2 points, but it won't be enough. But Hancock on 12, well, he's safely through to the semis, and he'll have a reasonable pick for the semi-finals. Good stuff.
Yep, superb from Hancock, professional as ever. Now, Nicky Pedersen, can he make it 2 successive wins here and go through to the semi-finals on 10 points? Here's the World Championship standings. Woffington 103, Pedersen 85. Hancock on 77 now, so he's only 8 behind Nicky. So there's the pressure of Hancock starting to breathe down Nicky's neck as well.
Yeah, he's got to look over his shoulder a little bit, but Pedersen says he needs more speed. They've been tweaking the bike. He's got the inside gate, which will be an advantage. Needs speed here.
Very much so. It's Pedersen off the inside. Troy Batchelor going off gate number 2. Matty Zegar 3. Doyle going off the outside. Pedersen with 2 race wins to his name. 7 points from 4 rides.
Yes.
And never gives up.
No, he doesn't. And you're not a world champion if you throw the towel in, Nigel, are you? And he's done it on 3 occasions, and he's always there or thereabouts. He's very well prepared. He has a tremendous team around him. So he's got the inside gate. He'd dearly love to win this race and finish with 10 points.
Heat number 18 it is, and he's made a good one, Nicky Pedersen, but so has Zegar. Zagar now is going to hit the dirt and try and get the drive around the outside, but Pedersen hangs on. Pedersen has a lead. Look at Doyle and Zagar!
Oh! Big crash!
Big crash down the back straight going into turn 3. Well, let's hope they're going to be okay, these boys.
Doyle made a strong move there. Pedersen had made a good start. Not sure if there was contact between Doyle and Pedersen, but certainly a dramatic crash going into turn 3 on the opening lap. Long straights here at Gorzow, high speed, really were pressing on as they went down there. Pedersen goes down hard, and Zagar once again getting caught by the debris. Fingers crossed for the boys here.
Well, they just really wind it on here. No room there. Nicky goes down. Matty can't avoid him.
His front wheel's taken away by Doyle coming up the inside, Nigel.
So Doyle's
clips him there, goes straight down. Doyle, and then Zagar's got no choice as well. It was a really, really tough move from Doyle. Doyle's alongside there, a little bit of contact with Zagar, but he just wipes out. And no surprise to see the exclusion light of Doyle go on. Doyle, unfortunately, just a little bit over-eager there. Shame. Fingers crossed for the two fellas on the floor. Really tough fall, such high speed. You go down with a real thump.
Yeah, fingers crossed they're going to be okay, particularly after the week we've had, of course. And fans applauding the riders.
Well, Doyle was on 6 points coming into this race, so unfortunately for him, he's blown his chances of getting in the semi-finals. Shame for him because he's ridden well tonight. But once again, it's a shame because he's got a strong racing instinct, Jason Doyle, but at times it just gets the better of him there. And he clashed with 2 riders going into that corner. And to be perfectly honest, there was all sorts of carnage that came as a result of that move.
Nicky sat up there, great.
Good news.
Good to see. Nicky sat up, so is Matty.
Zagar once again an innocent victim there, just could not get out of the way of Pedersen once his front wheel folded underneath him. You saw
they
the
are
replay.
Calling for an ambulance, by the way. There is an ambulance coming out onto the Speedway surface here now. But both riders are sat up. They are conscious and they are sat up. Both riders.
Tough game, Speedway. Tough game.
This has been possibly one of the toughest Speedway meetings I've ever seen tonight.
Very, very hard fought. Nobody giving a quarter at all. And there's no doubt that, you know, at times it's taken our breath away. There possibly, well, Doyle quite clearly just overdid it going into turn 3. You know, he had the opportunity, he was alongside, but he ran out of room at the last minute. And at high speed, no brakes on Speedway bikes, so you just can't get out of the way when you really need to. And you saw quite clearly in the replay when Pedersen's front wheel literally collapses underneath him. It actually folds underneath him and he slams off. Quite a shocking crash. Zagar feeling the full effects, but let's keep our fingers crossed that both of them can get to their feet.
So Jason Doyle's night is over. 6 points for Jason Doyle.
Shame for him because he
big shame.
Had a shout of a semi-final there, but he's frustrated. A couple of times this year he's steamed up the inside and been excluded for it. And Grand Prix Speedway, he was talking about he's an apprentice and he's having to learn his trade at this level. And, you know, it's easier said. It's very easy for me to say, oh, he shouldn't have done it. Your racing instinct as you go down the back straight, you see the gap, you want to get there, you're desperate for World Championship points, but unfortunately, that move did create all sorts of problems for the other 2 lads.
Yeah, real hard accident. I think Nicky's up and walking away.
That's Zagar.
That's Zagar, sorry, walking to the
Zagar
ambulance. Yeah,
away,
do apologise. We can't really see from here in our commentary position, but
see the reaction of the people around there. You know, it was right in front of them, so they saw the full force of that. Pedersen taking his time.
Well, quite rightly. So, I mean, it was an awful landing for Nicky Pedersen.
Yeah, he got slammed into the track at high speed because you saw the front wheel tuck under and, of course, effectively throw him over the handlebars. So, concern for both riders. You see it again now. Pedersen's in front, Zagar in second place, Doyle with a lot of speed. You got to say, you know, it's a racing instinct. He's got there. He thinks he's got it all under control, but unfortunately, he's run out of room. Look at Zagar get off there. Look at the bike. Crikey, that really is a dramatic crash. And Pedersen goes down. There's no room there. Pedersen goes down because his front wheel is clipped by the back of Doyle's. And then Zagar with no room. Zagar's made the move to come to the inside, but Doyle was so much straight line speed. Just unfortunate that he hasn't really quite got enough room, but look at the way the bikes and bodies are thrown there. Crikey. Wow.
Dear, oh dear.
That just shows you what a tough game. You can see that the helmet has taken a massive brunt. He wears a very good make of helmet. It's fantastic to see Pedersen up.
Brilliant, brilliant. Nicky Pedersen walking away from that, would you believe it? Fantastic.
Good news. He'll be in the rerun. He's a tough man. He's in great shape. Helga there, his manager, a long-standing manager. He's been through thick and thin with Nicky. He's there on hand to escort him back to the pits. But yes, you know, when you take a tumble like that, it will take your breath away, and you will need a few moments just to take a few deep breaths to recover your composure, because believe it or not, in the very near future, he's going to have to pull his helmet back on, possibly another helmet, because that the one he was wearing looks a bit worse for wear. He's going to go back to the tapes and do it all again.
Is this a classic case, really, where Nicky is one of the fittest guys around? He's, you know, in his late 30s now, but he trains hard. He's an athlete.
It certainly doesn't.
And does that help in that situation then, Kelv?
Without question.
How much?
Without question. He has the resilience to be able to bounce, and he has, you know, he has a core strength that, without question, gives him the ability to bounce back up. And he's worked on that very hard over the last decade. So, and he knows how important it is for him to be in good shape. You look at him when you see him around the hotel, he really is in good shape. He doesn't carry any excess weight, and he comes to these events fully prepared to give his all.
He certainly does. So these riders are going to be back out in the not too distant future. Obviously, Matty Zagar will be assessed as well before a decision is made on whether he can come out for the restart. 3 riders only: Nicky Pedersen, Troy Batchelor and Matty Zagar. I think Troy Batchelor just turned round there, was relieved to have missed all that.
He was very lucky because he was he had the box seat. It was almost a horror show that went on in front of him, so he was very lucky not to have been involved with it.
Well, let's have a chat with Andreas Jonsson now, speaking to Steve.
Andreas, probably hasn't been the night setup-wise for you with 5 points, 1 to go, but you just simply know what you have to do in the last one now.
Yeah, you know, I have to win it to be in it, so pretty simple. Going to change bike now, hopefully that one works better. You know, been feeling okay, been going not too bad, you know, but just been on the wrong place all the time, you know, and haven't got the points as I expected, but you know, still got 1 heat left and going to put all in for it.
It's a great racetrack for us all to watch you guys perform on, but looks hard to defend when you're not exactly, like you've just said, in the right places.
Oh, definitely. You know, it's when you got a little bit of extra speed, it's a lovely track to be on. But if you just miss a little bit of speed, then it's pretty bad. You know.
All right, good luck with the last one.
Thank you.
That's an interesting point that Steve Brandon picks up there with Andreas Jonsson, because it is, you're vulnerable. It's such a high-speed track. If you haven't quite got the speed that you require, you will be vulnerable and you won't be able to relax. Pedersen, Jonsson, I think several riders this evening have been, we've witnessed it, that, you know, when Woofenden's out there is no defence because he has the ultimate speed. Pedersen now back in the pits, having to regather his composure and make decisions on which bike he's going to ride in the rerun.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be beaten up, Nicky Pedersen, I'm quite sure of that, after what's happened there. And
be feeling second-hand tomorrow.
Just a little bit, yeah. And as soon as we find out what's happening with Matty Zagar, then, of course, we will.
We hear it a lot, don't we, about setup? You know, riders talking about it. Woofenden talks about it an awful lot. You know, it is the holy grail, effectively, for Speedway riders. When you just nail the setup, the bike is a dream to ride. It behaves itself. You hardly have to work on it because you just point it and it works for you. When it isn't quite right, on a smaller track, it's easier to defend your position because the speed is not quite as high. On a track like Gorzow, high speed, plenty of racing room, you need it.
Nicky looks like a boxer there.
Yeah, yeah.
His nose, and it looks like he's gone through.
Well, he's just hit the ground.
Bout.
He's just hit the ground. Yeah, he's been in with Floyd Mayweather there for a couple of rounds, hasn't he? So, no, it's a tough call. and he crashed hard at the end of the back straight.
Oh, all these boys really do put it on the line to entertain us every time they go out on a bike. Just awaiting the news on the rerun and whether all three will come back. I'm sure Nicky will.
Zagar is the question mark. He went back in the ambulance, so there was concern about Zagar. He was once again the innocent victim. The Zagar now coming out of the medical centre.
They're warming his bikes up.
Well, that's good news. Looks like he's going to be able to take his place in the rerun, which is a miracle. The way you saw those replays, the way that the bikes and bodies were thrown into the fence and into the track was quite dramatic indeed.
Well, well, well. Nicky doesn't look ready for action.
Well, maybe that crash
He's
helmet...
dazed, isn't he?
Crash helmet. Well, maybe he was concussed, Nigel.
Well, Nicky Pedersen is not going to take his place in heat number 18.
Quite clearly, he's seeing stars right now. That impact on the helmet is an indication that he slammed into the track and he doesn't feel capable of taking his ride.
Well, that is a major blow for Nicky, and we wish him all the very best, of course we do. Such cruel luck, especially when it's not his fault.
No.
It does happen in Speedway, we know, but he does look dazed. He looks battered and bruised. And
we saw a picture of the helmet, didn't we?
Yes.
We saw the impact on the helmet, and quite clearly he feels that he can't take his place in the rerun. He's seeing double, so yeah, that's really, you can just see that. Yeah, that's the wise decision. That's a wise decision.
Well, let's hear from Ty Woofenden now, who's with Steve Brandon.
Ty, you've just glanced up and seen your nearest rival in the championship. He's pulled out of the meeting after that big crash. I mean, it's a week when we all think about these things.
Yeah, you know, it's the nature of the sport. You know, everyone's setting the bike up to go as fast as they can, and saw Doyley had heaps of speed, and you know that's what we do. You know, it's tough, but you know it's not over yet. He can come back for the next few rounds and bring it to me. So,
and a night that's going very well for you personally, though.
Yeah, so far so good. You know, just I want to put in a good meeting because I said you know all the points I scored today are for Darky. So, fuck, bro, keep smiling. Love you, man.
Industrial language used there, but good luck in your last one.
Fuck it, I love Darcy.
Yeah, apologies for the language, of course, but emotions running high, and Greg Hancock on 12 points, Ty Woofenden on 12, but this man will take no further part. Quite clearly groggy, bruised, battered, and we wish him well and hope that he's going to be okay and back in a fortnight in Krško, Slovenia. Nicky Pedersen.
He will be.
I mean, I will say this here and now, you know, Nicky has got a reputation in the sport. We know that. He knows that. But the bottom line is we never like to see anybody hurt. I'm sure if he made the move that Doyle did just then, all his haters, all his critics would have been on him.
Yeah, particularly in light of what's just happened as well,
exactly.
Nigel. So,
exactly.
You know, it's a moment that we are just delighted that riders can get up after such a spectacular crash. And I think it's absolutely, it's a very responsible decision to make. Quite clearly, he is suffering the impact as he goes down there. We saw it with the way the front wheel tucks underneath him. He gets thrown over the handlebars, and obviously the back of his head hits the track very hard.
And for all you Nicky haters, trust me when I say, when you spend just 10 minutes with a guy, he is actually a nice, pleasant chap to have a conversation with. And, you know, if you don't know him, he is a thoroughly nice guy, Nicky Pedersen. He's just a proper speedway rider who really gets stuck in. Adrian Sifer goes off the inside. Troy Batchelor off 2. Gate 3 is Matty Zagar. So a big moment for the young reserve, who was reserve here last year. Sifer is off the inside, and Batchelor has made the start. Now Zagar goes around in white off gate number 3, and Sifer is holding second. But Zagar, who has picked himself up to really get stuck in here, he has second place right now. Troy Batchelor with the advantage. Zagar, though, charges up the inside, involved in a big pile-up a few moments ago. He's out there racing with Batchelor superbly.
Yeah, great stuff from Zagar, showing great character after a nasty spill just a few moments ago. Batchelor in second place, hanging on there with the young reserve Adrian Sifer back in third place. A big experience for him. But Zagar, this is a great effort from him. Spectacular get off. It could easily have been injured. It could easily have been rode out for the remainder of the evening. But got to say, Zagar's enjoying a good Grand Prix series. He lies well and truly up in amongst the big hitters in the top 8. He's going to win in fine style here.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Zagar, battling away with Bachelor. Sifer having a real go at one stage there, the reserve. But Matti Zagar takes the checkered flag, and you have to take your hat off to him. Matti Zagar simply superb there, just moments after being involved in that horrifying spill. Bachelor second, Sifer was third. Big moment for the young man at reserve coming in for Nicky Pedersen there. And heat number 18, Zagar, Bachelor and Sifer, the finishing order there. Doyle disqualified, of course, and it's a big win for Matti Zagar. Puts him on to 11 points, Kelv.
Yeah, very valuable win there. Zagar enjoying a great night and showing, as I said in commentary, good character, really digging deep, passes Bachelor nicely and wins in fine style. He's been very good this year. Bachelor makes a great start initially from gate 2. He's out in front, but unfortunately for the Australian, he cannot resist the charge from Zagar. So for the reserve coming in, he would have enjoyed that, picks up a World Championship point. But Zagar, after a nasty spill, really was a very spectacular get-off. Comes up with a classy ride, fires himself to the front, and after 5 rides, finishes on 11 points. Very good work from the Slovenian. Here we see it again, down the back straight, Bachelor out in front. Runs in wide, the classic turn back. We see this very often, wheels in line, completes the first lap, into the first corner for the second time of asking, and is comfortably in front. Team are delighted, particularly when you consider the dramatic scenes that we saw just about 5 or 10 minutes earlier.
Yep.
Hey!
Brave old boy. Brave old boy. Brilliant.
He's not that old. He's probably still just in his early 30s.
Just to say. Just to say.
Brave old boy indeed, Nige, because...
Brave young man.
Brave young man.
Brave middle-aged man.
Middle-aged man, or approaching that way, but certainly brave nonetheless. And I like the way he rides the bike. A classy ride to come up with.
Heat 19, Smarslik, Jonsson, Holder and Harris. Should mention, Kelv, you had a skid around here yesterday.
Yeah.
Before the boys' practice. What were your thoughts on the shape of the track? Did you enjoy yourself?
Loved it. You know, it's a terrific track. It was a little bit tricky in actual fact because they'd had a lot of rain overnight in the first corner, but yeah, real treat to be out there. And it's no surprise at all to see such super racing because it is a proper speedway track.
So this year you've ridden Prague, Cardiff and here, is that right?
Yeah, I did do a few laps in Warsaw as well, but certainly here was my favourite so far.
And understandable why the meeting is so good tonight. Heat number 19, here we go. It's a great start from the inside, and Bartosz Smarslik. Now the other 3 riders are going to try and hunt him down. Smarslik on one wheel down the back straight. Look at Holder in white though, having a real go here. Jonsson is in blue. This crowd are going wild because they know Chris Holder, the 2012 world champion, and Andreas Jonsson are hunting him down. Smarslik though holds the line. 3 abreast down the back straight.
What a ride that is. Smarslik once again, one last time out. Delighting the home crowd once again. The inside gate working a treat for him. Harris coming through in the 3rd place now, giving Andreas Jonsson, who's had a disappointing night, plenty to think about. Jonsson now snatching 3rd place away. Holder in 2nd place. Need points. Pushing hard on Smarslik. The home crowd don't want him to pass. I love to go. The youngster out in front. Can he hold on?
Well, this will put Chris Holder on to 8 points. Bartosz Smarslik is going through to the semi-finals at the place where he won last year as the wild card. Listen to the crowd! Down to the line, Smarslik just holds out Holder. Crowd go wild here in the Edward Jansart Stadium. Smarslik and Holder, great stuff. Chris Harris having a real go with AJ there as well. And that, once again, was fabulous stuff from Bartosz Smarslik.
Absolutely brilliant stuff from Smarslik. Didn't have it all his own way in the opening 2 or 3 rides, but the last 2 rides have been out of the top draw. Delighting the home crowd. He really is a fan favourite here. Local boy coming good. Wins again in style off the inside.
Very much so, and this is what it means. Smarslik on 11, level with Zagar. Hancock on 12. Chris Holder on 8 points, just about in the top 8 right now, and looking good. Killerman can catch him, of course, but Chris Holder looks as though he has done enough now.
Yeah, and that's good from Holder because he's had a tough week and he's battled hard. We see it again here. Smarslick on the inside makes a great start. Holder out of gate 3 and runs wide. Certainly Andres Johnson in second place momentarily, but the Australian Holder then charges into second place. Once again, the tape's up. A little bit scruffy from Smarslick, but the youthful exuberance on the bike around the inside knows this place like the back of his hand. Really good throttle control as he goes down the back straight. Holder had a lot of speed, and there was a really good battle once again between Harris and Andres Johnson, but unfortunately for Harris, just can't hang on, and Johnson, who had needed points, comes through in the third place. Smarslick moving on to 11 points is a great effort, particularly when you consider the stature of the meeting and the weight of expectation on his shoulders.
Kelv, you sound a bit hoarse.
Hey, I've been on it. I am a little hoarse. Points in the World Championship, 103 to 85. Fantastic effort from Woofenden so far.
But Nicky Pedersen ruled out, of course, with that injury, and we wish him all the very best. Nobody likes to see meetings decided, World Championships potentially decided by injury, but we can only wish Nicky all the very best as we build up to heat number 20, and Woofenden can only focus on himself and what he's got to do here in heat number 20. He knows that a point will be enough for him to finish top of the standings. Jepsen Jensen, Woofenden, third is Iversen and Killerman at the gate number 4. A reminder, the top 8 have to be confirmed by the FIM jury at the end of this race, but it's looking pretty clear-cut to me. Now Woofenden has made a fantastic start in the blue helmet colour. The other 3 will chase hard with Jepsen Jensen in red, and now Killerman in yellow. And Killerman has got loads of speed down that back straight. Woofenden holds the lead now, riding beautifully, just looking over his shoulder. But Peter Killerman has got speed. Iversen is third. Jepsen Jensen is at the back, and Woofenden going so hard around the outside run.
What a start from Woofenden it was. Out of gate 2, textbook stuff from him. Really fast in front. Fabulous move from Kilderman around the outside in the first corner to fire himself into second place, but it killed some speed there, and that's allowed Iversen back in the race. And Jepsen Jensen, who's been impressive tonight, he's tailed off out the back, but Woofenden looks unbeatable. He has so much speed. He's cruising out in front. He rides the inside. He rides the outside. It doesn't matter. He's winning races for fun.
Yep, Killerman is going to finish on 9. Iversen is there in third. Jepsen Jensen at the back. But Ty Woofenden wraps up 5 straight wins. Magnificent from the British rider. Ty Woofenden, a 15-point maximum from his 5 rides so far. Can anybody stop him in the semi-finals and the final?
Well, he's looking unbeatable so far, Nigel, and he really is irresistible. He looks so silky smooth on the bike. He's almost toying with the opposition when he's out there. Inside, outside, riding beautifully. The bike super fast. 3 points to his name.
There's the result. Killerman and Iversen second and third. Jepsen Jensen at the back. And that will mean that the semi-final lineup, subject to confirmation, 8 points is the cutoff. That's enough for Chris Holder.
Well, once again, Woofenden, who was not happy with his starts earlier on tonight. That was a textbook start. And once he hit the front, he really was enjoying himself. Gate 2, look at this. Clear to the first corner, clear. All these 3 other riders with him are enjoying a good night of Speedway. And he toys with them. Kilderman spectacular around the outside. I thought for a moment he might then push Woofenden, but once they complete the first lap, Nigel, they really do not see which way he goes. He's riding so well, the poise on the bike, the setup of the bike. Spoke about it early. When you hit the setup, it's like the holy grail. The bike will do exactly what you ask it to do. Peter Johns, who does his engines, quite clearly has produced something extra special for this Grand Prix, and he really is in dominant move. Kilderman, very spectacular in second place. Iversen giving really big chase in third. But Super Speedway once again, but that man, unbeaten, the World Championship, well, he is really making a big move tonight.
Certainly is. 43, Darcy Ward is his number. And we're down to the semi-finals and the final now, but by my reckoning, 8 points. It's clear-cut. Holder is in there. And we just await the draw for the semi-finals. As we look towards the Two semi-finals of what has been a simply stunning speedway meeting here tonight in the Edward Jansart Stadium. So just awaiting confirmation of the semi-finalists.
Yeah, it's got to be Chris Holder, isn't it? Got to believe that he will make it. Iverson's done well to get himself amongst it after a disappointing opener. Got to say, it's a disappointing night for the Polish contingent, apart from Smarzlik. Got to say that Maciej Janowski was a rider I fancied to make the final tonight, but he's only finished on 5 points from his 5 rides, which won't be enough. But look at that setting there, that really is quite good. The standings coming up here now. Wuffenden on 15, Hancock's ridden well for 12, just one blip. Zagar, brilliant after having that nasty incident. Smarzlik has responded superbly, and all credit to Iverson, Jepsen, Jensen, Kilderman and Holder to make the top 8 tonight.
Yeah, good speedway here. What a fantastic setting here in the Edward Jansart Stadium. Crowd have loved it. Marred slightly by that crash, which has rolled out Nicky Pedersen. You never like to see meetings decided like that. No. I'm not saying Nicky was going to win the meeting, but I'm sure he'd have been in there as a contender. He was leading the race, and he was certainly in the World Championship race, and still is, you could argue. But after tonight, we've got 4 rounds left.
It is a blow, and we're getting ready for the semi-finals now. Gate, the boys will be just gathering themselves. Big decisions to make. Inside gate has been working well. Plenty of work going on the track. Crowd have been royally entertained so far. So here we go.
Well, let's head down to Steve Brandon now for the news on the semi-finals.
So here we go, guys. We've got some of the riders already accumulating there. Ty Wuffenden, who's done a great job tonight, unbeaten so far from 5 rides. So we're ready to start the draw. So here comes Ty Wuffenden first up. Not sure whether he's going to probably go straight to blue, the one he won his last ride from. So there's Ty Wuffenden. He's made his choice. Last year's winner, Bartosz Smarzlik, the wild card. He comes up, goes straight for gate 1 on a track he knows so very, very well. Michael Jepsen Jensen. Great form and Horsens, carried it forward tonight, made the semi-final quite comfortably in the finish. He's going to go off gate 4. And the winner last time out, Peter Killerman. Tough night, but got to 9 points without a race win, and he's in gate 3. So there's just confirmation of the lineup from inside to out. Smarzlik red, Wuffenden blue, Killerman white, and Michael Jepsen Jensen in yellow. And Greg Hancock, the man with all the experience at this level. Been around all the time. He's going to come up, make his choice now. And he too, like Wuffenden, goes for gate 2 with the first pick in the second semi-final. Zagar, hobbling, showing the signs of that spill in heat 18, takes red straight away. Iverson, up and down night again, still searching for consistency, takes gate 3 in white. And Chris Holder, in by the skin of his teeth, but in the semi-finals nonetheless, he takes gate 4 in yellow. So we'll just confirm that lineup for you. Maciej Zagar in red, Greg Hancock in blue, Niels Christian Iverson white, and Chris Holder yellow. Kelvin, all to play for so far, and lots to go.
Well, certainly all to race for, Nige. Excuse me, Steve. It's 2 super lineups for the semi-finals. Wuffenden is the outstanding rider so far, and he's going to come out of gate 2. Smarzlik, no question, has looked terrific in his last 2 rides, and he'll be excited to try and make the semi-final, make the final once again. Wuffenden with a little bit of arm pump, which is a surprise to me, because he has been in outstanding form, looks very relaxed, but the trainer there just giving him a little bit of a massage just to relax those forearms off. Hancock, apart from one blip this evening, has been outstanding and clearly inspired by wearing the Darcy Ward suit, and is doing that name proud, and is looking good. But yeah, we have enjoyed so far an exceptional night of Speedway, and consider coming in tonight with all the talk of Darcy's incident last weekend. It really has been a great show and a terrific advert for the sport.
Yeah, very much so, couldn't agree more. And we've got 2 semi-finals and the final to come, and although Wooffinden's gone through the card unbeaten, it's not very often you see a rider go on and win a Grand Prix with a full house. And I'm sure this fella, as the wild card, Schmarslik, he will fancy his chances of beating Woffinden here. Although, has to be said, it's been a masterful display by Ty.
Yeah, it has, and you know, it's difficult at this stage to see Woffinden getting beat, but Schmarslik knows how to win here. Did it last year. He's a rider that's on the up and up, leads the World Under-21 World Championship after a couple of rounds. He's a rider that's growing in stature all the time, so there's no doubt that he has a great belief in himself to be able to pull off a win tonight. Consecutive Grand Prix wins on his home track, that will be quite a feather in his cap. Jepsen Jensen's enjoyed a super night of Speedway.
He's ridden well, hasn't he?
He's ridden wide. Just a little bit of a blip last time where he failed to score. Schmarslik prepared, gate one for him, but he's going to have to get the better of Woffinden, who's been fantastic. Plenty of water going on the track. That is quite significant. It's late in the evening now, it won't dry, and it will no doubt make it greasy for the first semi-final without question. So yeah, could make quite a significant part to play, the water, in the first semi-final. But Woffinden, who made a textbook start coming out of gate 2, I'm sure he'll be looking to replay that. Kilderman, once again, what a remarkable character Kilderman is, because remarkably, I think he's made 50% of the finals in the Grand Prix he's competed in. He's a Grand Prix winner now, hugely exciting rider. Check the stats, Nige, because you'll come up with better ones than I have.
He's ridden in 8 and finished in the final 4 times.
There you are. So, you know, great record so far, great strike rate.
On course to keep it going tonight.
Absolutely, and he comes in to replace Jarek Hempel, who I've seen about actually here tonight. So all the best to Jarek, who's coming back after a nasty crash in the world. But there's the World Championship standings, Nigel.
Yep, 21-point lead now for Woffinden. As we say, Nicky Pedersen will take no further part in the meeting. So it is a huge lead. And there is an opportunity there for Greg and for Matti Zagar to close the gap on Nicky in second place over the course of the next couple of heats as well. So here we go, riders on the way out. 2-minute time allowance is on. Quite a lineup for the semi-finals, Kelv.
Yeah, it's been a super night, and you're right, Nigel. It is a super lineup for the semis. Schmarslik has battled hard. He keeps the home crowd very much involved. They love him here. As I said before, he's a local lad. His father, his team, they all come from this part of the world. So won last year, what a night that was. Could he repeat it? He's got to beat a man in top form, though. Woffinden won't be easy to beat, but the water on the track, I repeat, will have a part to play here. I believe too much water has gone on the track for the semi-final.
Big call, Kelv. So yeah, could that be a leveler, we wonder?
Could be, could well be.
He'll be up for it. Schmarslik off the inside gate.
Absolutely.
He will absolutely love the conditions here. He won't care whether there's too much or not enough water gone down.
He's on the inside, Nigel, so the inside gate could prove to be quite an advantage, but that man, unbeaten so far. Can he keep it going?
Here we go with the first semi-final then of the Gorzow FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Poland. It's Bartosz Schmarslik off the inside. Ty Woffinden immaculate so far off 2. Peter Kellerman goes off gate number 3. Can he keep his record going of wonderful appearances in the final? 9th GP, has been in 4 finals. Can he make it 5 in 9? And Jepsen Jensen off the outside. Woffinden, no. Well, this could be a huge night in his 2015 season.
Absolutely, already has been a fabulous night. He's stretched the lead out from 13 to 21 already. Pedersen can't take any further part. Every point he scores now is going to be crucial in the run for the title. He knows it. He's pounced tonight. He's ridden out of the top draw. Semi-final number 1. Here we go.
And they're away first time of asking of Woffinden has made it look so easy from gate number 2. Schmarslik now will try and take him wide. Schmarslik's got the speed. Schmarslik has the lead. Woffinden is going to have to go high and wide. Woffington is there, getting the drive around the outside. Watch out for Killerman now. Killerman is coming on strong. Oh, that got so close there. Smarslik with the lead. Is Woffington going to be beaten for the first time tonight? He'll have a go for sure. Third is Jensen, and Killerman is at the back.
They put plenty of water on the track. There's no doubt that's playing its part here. Woffington couldn't use the high and wide line. Kilderman's going awfully wide. Smarslik delighting the home crowd from the inside. I thought it might be an advantage. It's playing dividends. The track is greasy. Woffington unbeaten. Can't find the grip. He's through to the final though. 2 points will do nicely. But Smarslik looking like he's going to win 3 heats on the spin.
Crowd are jumping up and down for joy here because the wild card is going to win the semi-final. Bartosz Smarslik is in the final again here in Gorzow. That young man is in dreamland. He's the first man to beat Ty Woffington tonight. Third was Jensen. Killerman at the back, but the crowd have gone absolutely wild here. We are going to be in for a very, very special grand final here in Gorzow tonight.
We are indeed, Nigel. They're chanting his name. It really is an extraordinary atmosphere we're experiencing. No question about it. Smarslik, Woffington made the start, but round the inside there was a little bit more grip there. Not quite as much water on the track. In the middle of the track where Woffington was, he was spinning up. He settles for second place. Can't take it away from Smarslik though. Excellent effort from him.
And he really made Woffington work hard there. So did the other boys, Jensen and Killerman. Gave him something to worry about. Well, Woffington's on 17 points now tonight, so he's not going to worry about finishing second in the semi-finals.
No.
He scored 17 in Manila, finishing level on points with Nicky, and he scored 11 on Horsens, another 17 tonight. And although Woffy made a good start, Smarslik made it work on the inside, Kelv.
Yes, because they've watered the track heavily. Middle of the track was greasy. Woffington makes the start, just misses the inside going through the first corner, and Smarslik can just creep round the inside. He gets the better of the man who leads the championship and is unbeaten coming into the first semi-final. As hard as he tries, Woffington cannot get past Smarslik, and it's a great effort from the youngster and certainly delighting the home crowd once again. Good respect between the two fellas. Great that they're both in the final.
And what did I say a few moments ago? It's not very often a rider wins a GP with a 21-point maximum.
Very difficult to go through the card these days. Smarslik really riding out of the top draw in his last 3 attempts. Semi-final number 2 up at Tapes. What a night we've enjoyed. Really has been spectacular stuff. We've had thrills, we've had spills, we've had Speedway out of the top draw, and we've got 2 Super Speedway races to come.
And we have Zagar and Hancock off the inside 2 gates, 2 fellas who are now starting to breathe down the neck of Nicky Pedersen, who again, we send our best wishes to after that nasty-looking crash earlier.
Yeah.
Zagar involved in that, picked himself up and was able to continue. But Matty and Greg off the inside 2 gates are in a great position now to really put pressure on Nicky for second spot in the World Championship. Zagar off the inside, Hancock off 2. Niels Christian Iversen has dug deep tonight, and so has this man, Chris Holder, one of his big pals in life. Seriously hurt last weekend. He's been alongside him in hospital in Zielonogora. Chris Holder is here, and in the semi-finals, I think that's taken something special tonight.
I think it's a marvellous effort. It could easily have pulled out of this event, but he hasn't. He's come here, he's showed great character, and he's really ridden his heart out for his mate, who's back in the UK. The world champion, Greg Hancock's ridden well as well with the Darcy Wall replica suits on. Zagar, supreme tonight off the inside.
Hancock has made a beauty off gate number 2 and has got the drop on Zagar now. Greg Hancock has that advantage. They're all bunched up down the back straight. Chris Holder's going to have a go there. Down the back straight he goes, but Zagar chooses the wide option. Zagar is going to try and come around the outside of Greg Hancock. Hancock with the lead, Zagar second. Iversen is third. Holder is still in there, battling away as well. It's good Speedway again, and Iversen has got loads of speed in third place.
He has indeed. Iversen looking for a way through. Zagar just giving himself a little bit of racing room, but Iversen is hungry for more. Holder's relegated to the back. Once again, Hancock got the trapping hand out. He's out in front. He's controlling the race, but there's no question that Iversen is desperate to make the final tonight. Zagar hanging on in second place. That lap to go. Can Iversen find a way past Zagar? What a Speedway race.
Well, Greg Hancock has ridden beautifully tonight, and Iversen is there. Is there any room? Not quite. Zagar has to close the door. One last effort from Everson. Hancock's going to take the checkered flag down to the line. Zagar has held on. This is a real gutsy display from Matty Zagar, who was involved in that horrifying crash with Nicky and Jason Doyle just a few moments ago.
Brilliant.
But what about this man, Greg Hancock? 5 race wins. Brilliant.
Fantastic, 15 points out of 18. Just one blip this evening. The world champion really coming good tonight, inspired with that suit that he's wearing this evening for Ward. Really in top con. Wouldn't put it past him winning here this evening. Little bit of tricky stuff going on behind him, but certainly semi-final number 2 goes the way of Hancock.
Zagar in second. That is the finishing order, and it means that we've got a tasty lineup of Smarslick, Woofenden, Hancock and Zagar.
Yeah, super stuff from Greg Hancock. Really is on top form this evening. Wasn't at his best in Horsens, really did find it difficult to get the bike set up, but look at this. Gate 2, bike drives to the first corner. Zagar on him, battling round the inside in the first corner. Overwatered the track. I'm going to say it again. They overwatered the track before the semi-finals, and it's made it a little bit tricky. Hancock benefits because he's such a good starter. Holder there battles hard initially. Everson really threatening in third place. You're going to throw a blanket over 4 riders as they go down the back straight on the opening lap. Everson working really overtime, desperate to try and find a way past Zagar, but just can't quite manage to do so. Hancock out in front, 15. It's a great return. One of the best Grand Prix he's enjoyed so far this season. Just the one blip there in his 4th ride, but apart from that, just 3s all the way through. Sponsor, Monster Joe in the background as well. Delighted with that. Got to say, Hancock is going to be a threat for the final.
Yeah, certainly is. So it's quite a tasty lineup coming up as we await
Smarslick. Can he do it? 2 years on the spin, Nigel. What a reaction it was. They were chanting his name after his win in the semi-final. That really was a special moment for him. Really is building up to a fantastic conclusion here tonight.
Certainly is, and it really has been a very special Speedway meeting for all sorts of reasons.
Yes.
With all the emotion surrounding Darcy Ward's injury, and now here tonight we've seen Nicky hurt. Hopefully not too serious there. Perhaps a bit of concussion, I think.
Yeah, I would. That's the logical conclusion when you see the helmet and the way he was reacting in the pits. I do believe that he was beginning to feel the full effects of being slammed into the track. Here we go.
It's been an emotional night for Chris Holder. He is with Steve Brandon.
Chris, tough week. A great result for you tonight under the circumstances.
A good effort just to turn out, to be honest, but yeah, I didn't expect much today. Just wanted to try and ride, and yeah.
Hey, listen, mate, you've certainly done that. I'm not going to bother you anymore, but I really appreciate your effort tonight. Thank you.
Well, I think that reflects on how deeply it feels. Darcy Ward came back, was going to ride for Torrent, but that would have been at the expense of Chris Holder.
Yes.
And chose to go to Zelenogora. That shows you the depth of feeling between the two boys, and all credit to Chris Holder and the effort he's put in tonight.
Well, we await news on the final here. Let's build up to the final then, and here's Steve Brandon.
So we're nearly ready for the drawdown here, Nigel, but Matty Zagar's just making way across. So I think we're going to start off with Greg Hancock. He's got first pick by way of that win in the semi-final. So he's wandering forward. The blue race jacket's still on. I wonder if that's a clue. Thinking about it. Still grinning as ever, and he does. Blue again for Greg Hancock. Great effort so far on the night. Bartosz Marslik, he had red in his semi-final, and he's probably going to take it again, which he has done, and still smiling. So you hear the local fans here loving that. Ty Wolfenden, 17 points in the bank already tonight. He's going to do one of his very big thinking first corners off gate 4. And Zagar obviously still suffering from the effects of that that crash in heat 18. He hobbles forward and gets left with gate 3 in white. So just to confirm that lineup. Smarslik in red in gate 1. Greg Hancock blue, gate 2. Matty Zagar beaten up, gate 3 in white. And Ty Wolfenden on 17 points on the night with a big lead in the championship in gate 4 in yellow.
Great final lineup, looking forward to it very much indeed. I don't think anybody who saw that Chris Holder interview would have really failed to have been touched by Chris Holder getting so emotional, and such great respect for Chris Holder turning up tonight and really working hard on the bike.
Well, we had a conversation during the week, certainly when we came here, about whether Chris Holder would turn up, and he actually just said it there. He answers that question. Did well just to come here this evening, put himself through it, has kept himself well and truly ensconced in the top 8, but an emotional night for Chris Holder and all. Woofenden there is going to have to go from the outside this time, because that man has ridden so supremely well. The world champion has been in top form tonight and really has ridden beautifully. Smarslik really is the darling of the crowd here. Has ridden out of his skin to make the final on 2 consecutive years. He's, in actual fact, he's made the final here. The first time he rode as a wild card, he made the rostrum. He won last year, so can he make it 2 on the spin? What a career that Hancock has had. I just sense that he's riding on the emotion of what's happened this week and is really focused and desperate to pick up another Grand Prix win. And at the age of 45, it really is a remarkable story, and it continues on for Greg Hancock. A fabulous night for Woofenden, Nigel. Couldn't have foreseen what was going to happen, but he has come good when he really needed it. Loves this place, got the bike he needs, and has stretched that lead in the championship. Great effort.
Yeah, you get the feeling this could be a pretty special grand final tonight. What a lineup it is. The fans are absolutely loving it. They want Smarslik to bring the victory home tonight, no doubt about that. Absolutely. The bigger picture of the World Championship, though, it's all going Woofenden's way.
Yes.
Greg Hancock in with a chance of win here, close the gap on Nicky Pedersen. Matti Zegar as well. Well, really looking forward to this. And it's Bartosz Smarslik's 5th Grand Prix appearance tonight and his 3rd final.
Well, again,
albeit 3 of them, you know, he's been here.
It's in his own backyard, isn't it? So there's a bit of an advantage there. But with that comes the weight of expectation and pressure and expectancy. The crowd expect, you know, he's only got one way to go. He won last year. Never easy to come back and do it again. So if he manages it tonight, he will have done remarkably well. In actual fact, he's done remarkably well just to make the final this evening and keep these fans on the edge of their seats. What a night it's been. And they dearly love him. They're chanting his name continuously. It really is quite a special atmosphere as riders are preparing themselves for the big grand final. Fabulous night of Speedway, and we've got one very special race coming up.
Well, quite a lineup then it is here for the grand final here in Gorzow tonight. Don't want to keep labouring the point about Woofenden's lead in the World Championship, because it's another free hit for him really when you consider that Nicky is out with injury. But it's a 23-point lead right now for Ty Woofenden, so that's over 1 Grand Prix now that Woofenden is clear.
Yeah. It's absolutely staggering the way it's worked out. He was a touch fortunate 3 weeks ago in Horsens, but not tonight. Okay, Nicky Pedersen's got injured, but you've got to say that Woofenden has been outstanding, and he's pulled away. And this is really where he is stamping his authority on the World Championship, looking like he's moving sweetly on towards another World Championship.
Here we go with the grand final. Bartosz Smarslik, the darling of the Gorzow crowd, off the inside in red. Won here last year. Can he do it again? Greg Hancock goes off gate number 2 in the blue helmet colour. Hancock's 78th final in 187 Grand Prix. Matti Zegar gate 3 white. And Ty Woofenden going off the outside, said earlier in the week, yes, people are asking me, when am I going to win another Grand Prix? As long as I build up a lead in the World Championship, I don't really care.
Well, he won't. Of course, he dearly loved it tonight. I did have a conversation with him 1 or 2 weeks ago, and he said, Kelvin, it is so hard to win Grand Prix, and it is proving so. Smarslik team there, keenly looking on. The youngster has ridden terrifically well once again to make the final, and as I say, the home crowd with the home boy are certainly really cheering on. They really want to carry him through to win consecutive Grand Prix at his home track. Fabulous lineup. The world champion in Gate 2. Zagar's been through the mill tonight. He's ridden beautifully. And Woofenden, the dynamic speed. Can he produce it in the final?
Here we go with the grand final here in Gorzow. Who's going to hit that first turn? Hancock's made a beauty. Woofenden is going to try and go high into the dirt now and get some drive around the outside. But Zagar is challenging there now, and Woofenden, there's no room there. No room there at all for Woofenden. Hancock has the lead here.
Whoa.
And now Smarslick has gone wide and has lost control of the Speedway bike. And Woofenden comes through into third. Hancock has the lead, but Zagar's got speed. Matty Zagar is all over Greg Hancock. Hancock closes the door. Woofenden tries the inside line. They're really bunched up. Who's going to win this GP?
Not easy to call. Hancock out in front. Zagar's going to hit the front down the back straight. Gonna be. You can throw a blanket over it. Zagar gets himself to the front. Woofenden now beginning to work the outside as well. When he squeezes his way through into second place, switches to the inside. Hancock covers that. What a ride from Zagar out in front. Fabulous move from him.
Matty Zagar on the verge of a famous win here. Only his third win of his career. It's magic, magnificent. Matty Zagar, the super Slovenian, who heads home to Krško, Slovenia for the next round of the World Championship on the back of a stunning win here in Gorzow. He's passed Greg Hancock. That was an unbelievable final, and well done to Matty Zagar of Slovenia. He was really beaten up earlier on in a horrifying crash.
Yeah.
And here he is now, top of the podium. What a night of Speedway here in Gorzow.
Yeah, what a night of Speedway it's been. Zagar, what a win for him. Picks himself off the track with a spectacular incident earlier on. Really rode beautifully there to get the better of Hancock, who did so well to get himself to the front. Smarslick misses out this time. Slight disappointment for him, but no question he's ridden really well to make the final again. Zagar showing great character and class to win in fine style. Woofenden stretches his lead in the World Championship. He's in a commanding position. Hancock back to his best, rides fantastic. But Zagar, the Slovenian, wins the big final. What a night to win on. He will be mighty proud of this one.
Yep, well, Ty Woofenden finished top of the standings, but Matty Zagar is winner of the Gorzow FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Poland. Quite a night here in the Edward Janssart Stadium.
What a night it is for Zagar, Nigel. That really was. You could see it coming. He was building the speed up. He was building up the momentum around the outside. Hancock has been trapping all night. He makes a fantastic stuff. Great effort there from Woofenden with the Darcy Ward t-shirt on. Hancock, gotta say, has ridden very nicely. Not so sure that riding around without your helmet on is probably as wise a move as possible, but Woofenden seems to write his own rules. Hancock also enjoying a moment, celebrating under that wheel. But that man tonight, the night belongs to him. Tapes up. Charging to the first corner in the final. Hancock clear out of gate 2. Slams his authority on the first corner and he's down the back straight. Woofenden out of it. Trapped in traffic. Gate 4 really was. We're having to work overtime to really even get on the rostrum when it really, earlier on, looked like he wasn't going to be beaten. Smarslick at this stage is in second place. Zagar now forces his way through into second place with Hancock out in front. Smarslick, just overriding a little bit there, loses his momentum, and that costs him a place on the rostrum here this evening. But Zagar here, look, really having to work overtime just to get into second place behind Hancock. Smarslick out of shape, that allows Woofenden up into third place. Disappointment for the Polish rider there. His final is run pretty much at that stage. Zagar, unfortunately, we don't see the pass from Hancock, but a beautiful pass by Zagar round the outside, and that fires himself to the front.
Yep, Matty Zagar is the winner, and he is with Steve Brandon.
Matty Zagar, your third Grand Prix win on your home track in Poland, a pretty special night.
Yeah, it was a very special night for me, of course. Very hard job for my boys as well in the pits. Thanks to God, I'm okay. Nothing's been badly broken, I think so. Really, again, thanks to my boys to fix that bike. I got it back for the semi in the finals, so well done to them. nice public today. Everybody knows it's a happy day for me and for the fans. But overall, for the World Speedway, the last week's been definitely my toughest one in career because, of course, one of my mates from the track got seriously hurt. So cross fingers for you, Darcy, and good luck for the future. I hope he gets it right.
No, that's lovely words, Matty. But for you, just to reflect on that, you've picked up 16 points tonight. You've beaten yourself up. You've got back up. It is a great result.
Yeah, you know, speedway is not an easy sport. So sometimes crashes happen, and as I said, you know, it's not an easy sport. So sometimes, as we say, shit happens, and if you get away from it, you're lucky. That's what you need. Without luck, you're nobody.
Well, a win's a win. Congratulations. We'll see you in your home country in 2 weeks.
Great words from Matti Zagar, and many congratulations to him. Wonderful, wonderful performance tonight. We send our best wishes to Nicky Pedersen after his injury earlier. Hope that it's nothing too serious for Nicky Pedersen. 4 rounds to go, and now Ty Woffenden leads the World Championship by 24 points over Nicky Pedersen. He couldn't have wished for better than that. He led by 13 going into tonight. Hancock third, Zagar fourth. Is that the world title for Ty Woffenden now, barring injury?
A very significant move, and yes, I would believe that really it's his championship to lose now. Got to say, if he stays fit, there's no reason to think that he won't be able to tie it up in the next couple of rounds. Fabulous, fabulous night of Speedway. Zagar comes out on top with a fabulous night of Speedway. Terrific entertainment. Hancock has been supreme. Holder just coming, giving his best. You could see how emotional he was, but Matti Zagar's done his country proud tonight.
Great win for Matti Zagar. Many congratulations to him tonight. Wonderful, wonderful performance. And Greg Hancock up there again. You just cannot stop him, can you? He's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
45, still doing it. Really motivated tonight. I did question whether he would be thinking about his future. We see the prize giving now, third place on the night. Ty Woffenden, after 20 heats, it looks like he was just going to walk away with it, but the semi-final and final proved to be just a little bit tougher, but what a night it's been for that man. Woffenden stretching his lead to 24 points. That really is a commanding lead, and you've got to believe that it's his championship to lose right now.
Yep, very much so. Significant night indeed. Greg Hancock, superb tonight as well. Congratulations to him on a brilliant effort. That race suit, a replica of Darcy Ward's, which will go towards raising funds for Darcy's rehabilitation. Great gesture by Greg. They are smart as well, aren't they?
They look great.
Darcy's race suits have always been smart.
Super, yeah. So it's done the business for Hancock. But Zagar, the winner on the night. Night belongs to him. What a ride it was in the final. What a final it was. All 4 riders really giving their all. Smalslick, of course, just misses out, but that man, a home rider, of course, he delights the home crowd. Next best thing to Smalslick winning effectively. And Zagar's enjoying a great Grand Prix series. Congratulations to him.
Yep, superb win, and really bunching up now for silver and bronze as well.
Yep.
Has to be said. Let the celebrations begin. It really has been a special night of Speedway after a very difficult week for the sport and everybody involved in it. Enjoyed your company again tonight, Kelv. It's been a fantastic evening of Speedway.
Yep.
And we move on to Slovenia in a fortnight's time in Krško, which is always a good trip.
Lovely part of the world, Krško. Looking forward to it. It's been a special night tonight, World Championship. There's been some significant moves. Woffenden, of course, has like he's really set for his second world title in 3 years. Zagar pushing hard for a top 3 spot. Hancock and Zagar pushing Pedersen hard now. Pedersen unfortunate tonight to miss out with the concussion. I can only conclude that it was concussion that he suffered when he crashed earlier on this evening. Zagar, involved in that incident, was able to bounce back and pull off a very famous victory, a victory that will live long in his memory, because when you can look back on the action we've seen here tonight, this is a special meeting to win, so terrific for him.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks for your company, Kelvin, once again.
Yep, no problem.
Brilliant night of Speedway, and again, you know, full credit to all the riders. It's been something special here tonight. Krishko, Slovenia, in 2 weeks' time. We'll be there for that, Kelvin and myself. Then it's Stockholm, and it's Torun. We're back in Poland, and then in Australia. From all of us here tonight, thanks for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed it. One of Speedway's toughest weeks following the serious injuries to Darcy Ward in Zielona Góra, Poland, just a week earlier. All the riders, though, ready to get on with the action and thinking of their friend, rider number 43, Darcy Ward, who was watching on from hospital in the UK. And when the action started, it was fast and furious. Nicky Pedersen, who was challenging Ty Woffenden for the World Championship, started well, but Woffenden was on a rocket ship as well. Had to work hard for his points. 1 or 2 falls early on, 1 or 2 unsatisfactory starts, and referee Jesper Steenthoff got a little bit frustrated. Nicky Pedersen in the thick of the action, as you would expect, and looking good at his opening ride, getting the checkered flag. But then Greg Hancock simply stunning. Away from the start, making it look all too easy, and pointing to his Darcy Ward replica Kevlars, which have been put together to raise funds for Darcy's rehabilitation. Some real dramatic racing in a packed house at the Edward Jansart Stadium. 17,000 fans watching on, and a terrific atmosphere. And the later the meeting went on, the more the wildcard Bartosz Smarslik came into his own. Greg Hancock suffered a blip, but he still went on and pulled off several more race wins to book his place in the semi-finals. Matti Zagar and Nicky Pedersen involved in a horrifying crash later on. Darcy Ward watching from the UK, supported by his pals here in Gorzow, and never too far away from their minds. Everson getting stuck in. Pedersen ruled out of the semi-finals with suspected concussion after a horrifying crash. It went down to the semi-finals. Greg Hancock really getting stuck in. Matti Zagar was involved in the same crash as Nicky Pedersen, but still was able to pick himself up, dust himself down, and take his place in the semi-finals. Pedersen's crash helmet worse for wear, and Nicky ruled out of the rest of the meeting. Some awesome speedway in the semis. Smarslik cutting up the inside of Woffenden. Super stuff from the darling of the Gorzow crowd. Hancock going through, and in the final, the super Slovenian Matti Zagar was the winner.